106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Wednesday, May 29th. I'm your host, Gabe out there. This is Double Impact. May's over, guys. There's nothing you can do about it. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. The month flew by. This is so much fun. This is a great movie we're doing tonight. Why is my green screen doing that? All that weird jumping. He's here, guys. The man, the myth, the legend, the midnight lover himself, the great Jericho Green. How you doing, friend?
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing fantastisch. If I could speak a little German, fantastisch.
What a great movie.
I love this one.
This movie, I grew up watching all the Bruce Lee movies. Can't tell you how many times. We all had those movies growing up as a kid, you know, where I had a movie that I used to watch so much that my mom hid the videotape on me. So we've all been there. Hold on, drop.
Yeah, that was Richard Simmons, Sweating to the Oldies, Volume 3.
Oh, Richard Simmons.
He's a great follow on Twitter. Because he's very old. I think he's in his 70s or his 80s, and he's very lucid, dude. He's telling so many stories of the 70s and 80s when he went from New York to Hollywood. He started getting little jobs here and there, and he'll tell these long stories. And you know, he's such a kind person, such a sweet, sweet man. He loves everyone. He's positive, and he'll write like a 20-tweet thread, and at the final thread, he'll always write "Love Richard," like he just wrote you a letter about his life. But,
Richard Simmons, Sweating to the Oldies. Guys, if you don't know anything about leotards and vertical stripes, Richard Simmons will teach you about it.
Right.
That dude was an again, the 80s time capsule. We can only put in 100 things. They're gonna dig it up 1,000 years from now. Richard Simmons is in there. But this movie, this for me as a kid, and even to this day, I'm all about evening the scales, righting wrongs. And this movie is exactly that. They should have named this movie Payback or Revenge, because Bruce Lee is not fucking around in this movie.
He's as the English say, he don't fuck about. You know?
If you wronged him, if he sneezed and you didn't say bless you, in this movie, he's gonna beat your ass. Right. I mean, I love it, man. This is such a great movie. I'm excited.
Speaking of Richard Simmons, here he is. Richard Simmons is the Guy Fieri of the 80s. If you dislike him, I'm sorry, it's you. He's just a kind person who likes everything and everyone. It's the same as Guy Fieri. He's the same personality. Thinks everything is awesome. So, and it seems very sincere. Or He's the world's greatest liar because he's been keeping it up for 40-something years, just being Mr. Positive. Think about what you think about. He says, no, we got to say this in Jason Statham voice. Think about what you think about. He says, I'm confused. What is the actual title to this movie? Two names in one.
Yes.
It's called The Chinese Connection and it's called Fist of Fury. I don't know the explanation to that. It's called both.
I do.
What is the Jericho in the back? Yes.
Excuse me. It's in China it was Fist of Fury. In America, it was Chinese Connection.
Okay.
And then they had another movie. In America, it was called Fist of Fury. And in China, it was called The Big Boss.
Okay.
So that's the one where he goes back to his family in Southeast Asia and he works in the ice factory and stuff.
Right.
That's another fucked up movie.
Now,
but this one, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, speaking of connections, I just watched this 2 nights ago. Gene Hackman, one of our favorites on this channel. The French Connection. If you have not seen this, run, don't walk. This is outstanding. Based on true events of the heroin trade coming from Southeast Asia into France, into America. Hackman plays Popeye Doyle. Roy Scheider from Jaws is his partner. They are hard-boiled New York detectives. This is action-packed and it has one of the most insane, like 10-minute long chase scenes of him commandeering a vehicle from a civilian in New York City and chasing an elevated train in the car through the streets of New York. It's so exciting. I remember watching, I was like on the edge of my couch. I turned to my wife and I go, this is insane. But the chase scene, so good. In the French Connection, we're dealing with the Chinese Connection. The French Connection is outstanding. Outstanding.
Yes, no chase scene in the Chinese Connection.
Yeah.
But if you're into people getting beat to death, this is your movie. And
Yeah.
it takes place during the Japanese occupation of China in 1938. Japanese were brutal, not only on the field of battle, but when they occupied China, they ruled with an iron fist. And so it takes place during that time. And Bruce Lee is, of course, the star student of this kung fu school, and he comes back to Shanghai for his master's funeral.
Right. I want to have a little more business to get to before we get to the movie. I got some great announcements real quick. Speaking of connections, we've got a French connection. We've got a Chinese connection. Let me move this off of here.
Love Connection? Is that next?
I don't want to show people this here.
Again, 2 and 2.
What was that guy's name?
Chuck Woolery. He's a good follow on X too.
Right. Yeah.
He's like about the bullshit. Yeah, he very much.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So speaking of the French connection, speaking of the Chinese connection,
so many connections.
What about the Hong Kong connection?
Yes.
This is a PNG. That's a transparent image, so there's no background, that I sent to Aikion because he's working on cover layouts for Dean Cain All-American Lawman Volume 2, the Hong Kong connection. Yes, and this is named after the Chinese connection and the French connection because holy smokes, they're good movies, and they're the kind of thing I want to get into. I want to get into some crime in Volume 2 of Hong Kong, Dean Cain, and I'll show you some cover layouts he sent me. I'll show you the ones we're not going to use. I don't want to spoil the cover till Comic-Con. All will be revealed July 24th, 24th through the 28th. That's San Diego Comic-Con. Big announcements coming for that. Big, huge, as Julia Roberts says.
So big
right now. But here are some of Aikion's layouts for the cover, different ideas he sent me for the Hong Kong connection. If you still want to get Volume 1, we are down to just cover E and cover F. So A, B, C, D, they no exist no more. So that's the first printing. They're gone. They're gone forever. But we have E and F. You can still get, this is E right here in my hand. The green screen's eating it up. We still have those in stock. Go to bigmancomics.com right now and get that, and you will be thrilled. So the Hong Kong connection is coming.
So technically, they can get their F on.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. I was going to say absolutely for no reason.
Oh, that would have been fucked up and hilarious.
Dean is still the best Clark Kent, in my opinion. Well, I agree with Dean that Terry is the best Lois Lane. So there you go. Howdy, Chrissy. Howdy. So, okay, so that's news on that front. Then, Jericho, I sent you that thing this morning, that cover I did for an unnamed project. That'll be revealed sooner or later. So I did a huge interview with a huge newsman who's hilarious and huge like me. I was on his show. We recorded about an hour. That'll be dropping in like a week or two on X and everywhere else. You guys will be able to see it. And some big announcements. There are a lot of great things coming. Jericho and I, of course, have the book we're working on. Empyrean is full steam ahead. That's up to page 25, the sci-fi book, guys. You remember that? That's Empyrean, Earth Illuminated. We're up to, and here's the proof right here. That blue thing right there, that is all 25 pages of completed inks. It's about 120 page book. I'm refining the script. He's drawing it while I'm refining them on the third draft. So he's currently on about page 26, and I'm on about page 54. Even though I already wrote it to 120, I'm on 54 again on the rewrite. They say writing is rewriting. So we write the whole time until we finish the book. And even once he finishes drawing it, typically, the book is rewritten again when I do the dialogue. Because when I can finally see all the pages finished and colored, I improv it the way Jericho and I improv like we do our characters on here. And Barney's coming in later, guys. You're going to love that. But I improv the dialogue when I look at the pages. I realize, oh, it looks like he's saying this and that. And then I help it yes and reinforce and embellish the story. So it's a really fun creative process. I have not felt more alive creatively since I was a little kid. This is the most fun I've had since I was drawing in my grandparents' restaurant kitchen. So let's see. Melodic Method. I'm psyched for the Comic-Con announcements from Big Man Comics. You're going to love it. We have a live event too. I have a booth. You can come by the booth. We might have people signing this and that, comics, t-shirts, all that fun stuff. 1705 is my booth last year with Jericho and Dean and Eric July and Nerdrotic and Quarter Black Garrett. All kinds of fun people there. We're going to have some fun people again. I will be announcing that mid-June. I'm going to start announcing things for Comic-Con. But I got some big name people. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And
Yes.
You're going to want to be there. If you can get there, and I have a live event tentatively July 24th at an awesome place right by the convention center. All details coming mid-June. So let's see. One other thing I wanted to announce. Hold on. But wait, there's more. My daughter, as you know, she's going to the comedy club tonight, but she's produced her own show, Momedy Comedy. These are all women from San Diego. Vicky Barbalak is a regular in Las Vegas at Jimmy Kimmel's club. Kimmel, the ABC newsman or the ABC late night guy, he has his own club in Vegas, and Vicky is one of his regulars there all the time. She's a friend of my daughter. She also lives in San Diego, Vicky. She travels back and forth. Vegas is not far from here. She is headlining a show that my daughter's producing. My daughter organized this, and it's sold out. It's sold out the regular room, so the comedy club bumped them up to the main room. So if you're anywhere in Southern California, go to MikeDropComedy.com and get you a ticket. And none other than my buddy Tyrus retweeted this. I was very touched by that. He retweeted this out today. So that's awesome. So we want to sell out the even bigger room. Sold out the small room. Let's sell out that big room. Minnie and her gal pals here are hilarious. So please.
Yes, and I'm going to have Minnie on my channel tomorrow to talk and tell us what to expect, get a little bit of her comedy background. So yeah, very excited about that. Support.
Thank you for doing that. I didn't know you were doing that. I told her to talk to you. Because I think she wanted me to talk to you. It's like, honey, you have to learn how to do these things yourself. So, I'm very excited, very proud. Yeah. I got her into comedy when she was 16. I signed her up for stand-up comedy lessons with Pauly Shore's sister. Sandy C. Shore was my daughter's mentor for a few years. Rest in peace, Sandy. She passed away a few years ago. So, that's my daughter doing stand-up comedy at the Mic Drop in San Diego. On Sunday, this Sunday. Sunday. Kids' seats are just $8.
I used to live near the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, and if you brought a Pepsi can, you would get in for 50 cents. So don't bring Pepsi cans to her show, but
no.
Don't do that.
And where is my daughter going to be appearing live?
It'll be on my main channel, None the Miser.
All right, and that I'll put a link in there. The link is in the description, but I'll grab the link really quick for you. Jericho's main channel on YouTube is what is it called? Your main channel?
Jericho Green.
Right,
yeah.
Jericho Green. Okay, I'll look that up and grab it. So, do you have any announcements? I ran through my announcements. What do you have, Jericho? Before we get into Fist of Fury.
Nothing much. just give me a follow on X. I'm back there, and merch links and all that kind of shit. But business as usual.
Business as usual. Okay. Let's see. There's a link to Jericho. It's in the chat. And think about what you think about. Ask a very, very good question. What is up with Datitude? Nothing is up with it. Nothing is wrong with it. I haven't made any time for it. I went out of town. I visited my dad. He had double knee replacement surgery. I'm at the busiest time of year for me, ramping up to Comic-Con, and that no excuses. I'm a man of accountability. I literally spaced it for like 2 weeks. I was out of town. I came back. I've been drawing a lot. Jericho has seen that stuff, which I will not show you guys till Comic-Con. And I've been writing a ton. I've got 4 scripts I'm writing right now. Jericho Green and the Hammerheads, Dean Cain, All-American Lawman, Volume 2, The Hong Kong Connection, Empyrean Earth Illuminated, and unannounced thing that I showed Jericho this morning that I will not talk about till later. So I'm writing 4 movie-length things. These are 120-page books. I'm writing 4 of those this summer. So I just spaced it. That's irresponsible of me on that. I'm sorry. I'll edit them and I'll put them up soon. So, but I'm glad you're interested in it. So
yeah, he's a new dad, so he's trying to get all the Datitude he can.
All right. Garage doors open so I can finally enjoy a cigar. Okay, well, smoke them if you got them.
Yeah, that's what I did. I opened my garage door too. Not only for the cigar, but because it's hot as fuck in here.
I was going to ask how your weather is. We're doing a balmy like 72 here in San Diego.
Well, it's not balmy here. It was 92 degrees today, and tomorrow it's going to be 98.
That's not fun.
I wish it was balmy, but no balminess here. Think about what you think about. I have I actually talked to my brother today. I'm going to have him on there. And then I have a couple other ones lined up, but they have to get clearance from their higher ups. But I do have some coming. But my brother, he's a very interesting man. He is well-traveled. I think he's been to, I'd say, at least 75 countries. He's on his way. He just got back from Sierra Leone. He didn't bring me any blood diamonds, dick. But he's headed to Slovakia next. Hey, Slovakia. So when he gets there, he'll be have his own hotel room and stuff. So no distractions with the kids and everything. So we'll be able to sit down and have a good conversation. I think people are really going to enjoy it because, that's my brother. So we're going to have a good time and also talk about, he served in 2 branches of the military, 2 different National Guards.
Wow.
Multiple college degrees, master's degrees, and just a very well-rounded person.
So
and
he's a doer, your brother.
Very much so. And we don't see eye to eye on everything, socially and politically. So it makes for some interesting phone conversations.
Rolo Solis asks, what is the timeline for Empyrean? Acheon is the rare artist in comics. He's top tier good and fast. Usually people that are really good are not fast, but somehow he is both. I'm good and I'm pretty fast. I'm not as fast as him, but holy cow, he is insane good and insane fast. He's up to page 25. He just turned up in 20 to me like last week. So he's good for 5 finished pages a week. That's pencil and ink. That's late. But I don't want him to go that fast. Just for his own sake. Like there's no reason to go that fast. But at the rate he's going, he could be done by the fall, by August, by the fall. But we're gonna finish it and then put it on sale, I believe. I don't know about I don't like the idea of crowdfunding if I don't have to. Anyone that needs to do it, I love it for them. I've used it twice. I may use it again. I don't want to, but I like the idea of people being able to order it and get it right away. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to finish books and then put them on sale. I'm trying to do that. So that's the plan. So I think we'll be done end of summer, beginning of fall, but unless something changes, definitely before the end of the year. So I would love to put it on sale in the fall, in the early fall too, like September. Do not quote me on that because who knows? Life happens, people move, things happen. So, but no, the pace we're going now, we're flying on this thing. So yeah,
some people they just have that gear. That's just
he's just one of those guys, man. He's a legend, and he's helped me improve my drawing skills. I'm at 45. I've been doing this my whole life. And I have like doubled my skill like in the last year just under his tutelage. See, he comes from animation. And one thing the American comic book industry, the culture of it that's weird, that is not prevalent at all, is mentorship. There's a weird, and I don't mean this as a criticism, just an observation. There's weird cockiness and arrogance. I think a lot of comic book artists, like, I did it all myself. I taught myself. And it wasn't always that way. And in animation, it is definitely not that way. you learn from master artists. Like it's always, master apprentice. And, I had him lay out Truth, Justice, American Way for me. That's literally like drawing pages in layout form, not finished. And then I do finishes and all that on them. And I gave him credit for that for sure. But when you do that, and someone who's, 15 years your senior working at the highest level, when you're doing finishes on their stuff, you're like, oh, and you have all these like aha moments, and you learn at light speed. You grow like bamboo. And all of society had that. You talk about a blacksmith, someone doing horseshoeing, someone, a dairy farmer, like all the old trades. It was always master and apprentice. So I don't know why comic books don't have that really, but they don't. And it's unfortunate because holy hell, it's good for you. So Empyrean, I would love it if it was finished by August. We'll see. September, who knows what'll happen. Let's see. What else? Are we sure he's not using Bolivian marching powder? Maybe that's why he works so fast. No, because he's not insane. And if you use marching powder long enough, you will develop psychosis. So,
but if you get it right, you'll just have a great time.
Speaking of psychosis and Bolivian marching powder, do we want to address the purple one now, or do we want to go into Fist of Fury?
Whatever you want to do, man. He kind of marches to the beat of his own drum.
You know what? We'll save Barney. I have some. I saw some photos that Barney didn't want anyone to see. I saw them this week, and I have a lot of questions for someone I thought was my friend.
Oh shit!
So it's a whole other side.
Just be careful how you approach him, man. He's pretty volatile, and I'm not sure if it's because of all the coke he does. Maybe that's just his personality. But
I'm not afraid of him anymore. I'm just not.
Careful.
I'm not. I think that's a lot of bravado, a lot of big talk, and I think inside he's a broken little boy. That's what I think. Right. I mean, he is a 6,000-pound dinosaur, but I think inside he's just like a lost little boy. So.
But it's getting to that little boy dinosaur in there. It's getting through the layers and the anger and the coke and the rage and the whores and the alcohol, and it's a lot. But I'm sure when you get through that, if you can make it through that, if you can survive the roller coaster of hell that is Barney's mental state, I think that's what you'll find. You're right.
Well, I think Barney's what he's got to understand is that this isn't judgment. This isn't scorn. Barney, I don't hate you, dude. I love you. I've known you forever, and I just want you to get better. It's not coming from a place of like, oh, Barney, you're awful. Like, no, dude, I don't want to see you like this. It's sad.
But no matter how bad it gets, people won't change until they're ready to. And right. To be honest with you, I think he's still enjoying himself. I don't think he sees anything as a rock bottom. I think this dude is just white knuckling or purple knuckling, if you will.
No, I've known Barney long enough where he's like, rock bottom, let me get out my jackhammer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's break through that and keep going downward. Yeah.
That is true. Big Baby could pummel him with just one step of her heel. Big Baby's 125 feet now. She's not even 75 anymore.
But she's kind.
Yeah.
She thinks before she acts, and she's very she has a long fuse, if you will. It takes a lot to get Big Baby to get the stomping. So I think
once the stomping starts,
But that's what's saving Barney is her kindness and her generosity. She understands that he's a broken dinosaur, if you will.
Last of his kind, really.
God help him once that fuse burns out.
Yeah. No, I mean, Big Baby does have a very long fuse, but once the stomping starts, it's like a Texas two-step band,
It's like in the Navy, when one of the aircrafts catch on fire, there's nothing you can do. There's no chemical, there's no powder, there's no flame retardant you can spray on it. You just have to jettison it over the side of the ship. You can't put it out. And that reminds me of her fury, if you will. No pun intended.
With Big Baby, it's feet of fury.
Yes, and it's all the please, no, stop. It's not worth it. You're killing him. That doesn't stop her. So Barney, watch out.
That's right, Barney. Double Impact, the Chinese connection. Fist of Fury, Chinese connection. Same thing.
Yes.
Same diff. Some of Bruce Lee's best action, I think. Holy cow, he's got great action in this movie.
And acting.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee is a great actor. When normally action stars are exactly that. But he is a great actor. And I think that can be attributed to the theater acting he did as a child. He did like some movies as a child, and he was like a classically trained actor. So I think that definitely translates into his movies. And this, you get to see a lot of that. Enter the Dragon, which we did last week. There's some good acting in there, but that's mainly whooping ass,
Right.
which I appreciate. But you do get a bit more of the acting side of Bruce Lee, which I think we would have seen a lot of in his son.
Yeah.
Or in his son. That's what I meant to say.
Shout out to Brandon. The real Brandon, not like our president.
No, not Let's Go Brandon, but Brandon Lee. True.
So this movie, the backdrop of it is what, 1930s China.
1938, Shanghai.
Yeah, and the Japanese are running things. They've kind of overtaken. And there is very much a racial, ethnic problemo between the Japanese really mistreating the Chinese, mocking them, controlling a lot of the institutions of power, and just treating these people like second-class citizens in their own land.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a historical thing. So I do think maybe that comes through in the acting for Bruce Lee and the other actors, because many of them, I don't know all their backgrounds. Many of them were probably ethnic, Chinese, if not all. So I'm sure that was like a very emotional thing for them, honestly, because by the time this movie's being made in the early 70s or whatever.
72, yeah.
Right. Some of them were old enough to have been born in the late 30s or old enough to have been raised by parents who suffered through this, grandparents who suffered through this stuff, and they heard about it. So I think this is a very personal story for Bruce Lee and the people there. Although, Bruce Lee's from here, right? Wasn't he born up in Oakland or?
Yeah.
Where's he? Yeah. So, but I do think for people who are Chinese, I think that of that era, it would have been a very personal story to revisit it, 30 years after it happened or 30 something years.
Yeah. There's some actors in here who are in their late 40s at least. So yeah, I'm sure that, as children, as adolescents, they went through this. I'm sure they remember it.
Right. Because the way that some of the Japanese authorities treat the Chinese, and this is just insane, but
it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah. Telling a man, if he walked like a dog, I will let you into the park.
Yeah, when we get to that, we will break that scene down, because that is one of the more hilarious.
Oh, Lucas, Bruce Lee's grave is in Seattle, and it can be seen in the masterpiece that is No Retreat, No Surrender.
What'd you call it?
The masterpiece that is No Retreat, No Surrender.
I think you're being a little loose with that word, but okay.
Sure. And then we're about to start with the poll of polls. I'm going to do like a bracket tonight. We're doing fruit pie versus nut pie versus cream pie versus meat pie. And the four winners will face off.
If you get the right fruit pie, you will have a nut pie and then cream pie. That's not.
Well, I'm ending this poll. Apple is the winner. Everybody remember that. We're going on to nut pie now. So like your pecan. How many nut pies are there? I can only think of pecan. Is there another one?
I've had macadamia nut pie, which is
delish.
There's walnut pie too.
Okay.
Which is basically pecan pie, but with walnuts. But there are a few nut pies out there. But there's only one cream pie.
I know
pecan. All right, fellas. I would say, though, I haven't seen the poll yet, but cream pie is my favorite pie.
I bet. I can't think of a fourth nut pie. Pecan, walnut, macadamia. Is there another nut pie?
There shouldn't be.
Okay.
Maybe I'm sure there's a peanut pie down in the South somewhere, but I never heard of it.
I'll just add peanut just in case there's a weirdo in the audience that loves.
I guarantee you there's a weirdo in our audience. That's a fact. And you're welcome.
All right. So we got apple as the winner of the fruit pies. The best nut pie, guys. The answer is pecan, of course.
Duh.
Okay, let's see. You know what, None the Miser?
Hey, yo, that's my guy right there.
You're on thin ice.
No, you're not.
Fucking creamy peanut butter.
Your ice is so thick right now, None the Miser.
It's so thin.
You're fine.
It's so thin, like phyllo dough.
No,
okay,
you're fine.
That's how thin it is.
You're fine. Be you, None the Miser. Be you. This is a safe space.
Rhubarb from a nice old lady up the road. Be right back. 10 minutes. Still listening though. Okay, well, please listen. Look at this little rosy cheek smile. I think somebody likes you, Jericho.
You're a good guy. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, maybe you guys should hang out.
I don't put filth like chunky peanut butter in my body, so
look
of course
at this.
he likes
Team
me.
Cream.
Team Cream.
And he's raising a child.
Right, the right way.
Oh, Kara. Allergic to tree nuts.
So you got to sit this one out, Kara.
That is sad. Nuts are one of the greatest foods on earth. Oh,
so good.
Look at this bullshit. Team Creamy.
Some good people out there, man.
That's wimpy.
Good
Are you guys
people.
too afraid to bite down and crunch on those nuts? Is that what it is?
Whoa, when you say it that way, yeah.
All right, so we start here at the what is the name of this school? Did you catch it? Because I didn't.
I can't remember. But it's a wonderful school. And there's a bunch of different schools in the area, kung fu schools and stuff.
Right.
And you have like Japanese dojo, so very martial arts heavy area in Shanghai. Hey, there you go. Crunch these and nuts.
Yeah. So Bruce Lee returns home from being a badass around the globe. I don't know where he was, but he returns back. It's a very somber time.
All white.
Right. And who has died? I do like the all white. Who has died? The master?
The master of the school has died.
Right.
Everybody's sad. He was a great master. And he's so broken up about it. Like he's literally it's pouring rain. He literally gets in the mud where they just, buried his body, and he's trying to dig his master up. He's handfuls of mud. He's trying to dig him up with his bare hands. They try to stop him. He, shoves him, get off of me. And he's trying to dig his master up, and they actually end up hitting him in the back of the head with a shovel. Now, to knock him out. Now, there's got to be a better way. But I guess they thought the best way was to bash him.
Oh, I thought this was the St. Floyd funeral is what I thought this was.
No.
Remember that mayor of that town taking a knee and crying at that thing?
Yeah. Well, when you say that, which one? Because there were 5. There were 5 funerals. That is ridiculous.
That's something.
Yeah, something. That's
something.
Exactly right. Something. But yeah, he was just so overwhelmed with grief that he needed to get smacked in the back of the head with a shovel. They did that, knocked him out. Because, hey, I wouldn't tussle with Bruce Lee either. I figure the best way, if you could sneak up on him.
You're strongest, whatever that was, 1825, the most fit, powerful Jericho of all time.
I remember him.
You have to fight. You have to pick one. Mike Tyson or Bruce Lee. You have to fight one at Jericho's most fit. They won't kill you, but they will beat your ass. Who will you fight?
Can I have a gun?
No, you fist fight. You got to fight him.
I would pick Mike.
They won't poke your eyes out or anything like that.
I don't know. I think I'd pick Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson's only going to hit me with his hands.
That's all Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's crazy.
No, Bruce Lee's going to kick your face off. I'll go with Mike Tyson for that one. It's going to be over quick too with Tyson.
That's true.
Now, what am I going to be like when I wake up? That's the question.
You'll live. You might.
Yeah, but what am I going to have a good quality of life? Am I going to be?
You know what? They make really beautiful helmets nowadays that can match almost any wardrobe.
I don't. You get them in all different colors, camo. You get all kinds of shit.
There you go. You put your favorite superhero on the side of the helmet, your favorite sports team.
Hey, the 49ers.
Right. What if you got one of those helmets? They put a Raider logo on it by accident.
Oh, that would make me more mentally handicapped. But there used to be a TV show called Crank Yankers. And it was and that one guy, spaghetti, yay! That's what you'll be like.
Carolla and his crew did that.
Yeah, so funny. Spaghetti.
I heard them talk about that. They would do those crank calls, and I'm not a lawyer, but this is what I remember Adam saying. In California, to tap a phone, it's 2-party consent. So the other person in California has to know. But in Nevada, it isn't. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if what I just said is true. Adam Carolla said it, not me. So Jimmy Kimmel and Adam and the actors that would call and do the crank calls, they would go to Las Vegas and make the calls from there because you don't have to tell people they're being recorded in that state. But they would have to travel out of Hollywood to film that show. So there you go.
Spaghetti.
I would go with, if I had to fight one of these guys, I would take Bruce Lee. And here's my thinking on it. He's way smaller. He's less strong. And it'll hurt. But I don't think his punches are like Mike Tyson's punches. I just don't. Remember, Bruce Lee is an actor. Mike Tyson is an actual badass that actually beat the shit out of people for a living.
But Bruce Lee was a real martial artist as well.
Was he?
He was.
There's never any footage. There's always legends of him.
There is footage.
I've seen it, man. The 30 seconds from 500 yards away. I don't know. Okay. You know, I don't know. I've seen Mike Tyson. I've seen what Mike Tyson really does.
As I pointed out in Enter the Dragon last week, you can see the calluses on Bruce Lee's hands in that opening fight scene against Sammo Hung. So you got to get those calluses somehow.
Well, there's a lot of ways to callus your hands, Jericho.
Well, maybe the inside of your hand, but not the outside. And he can kick too. Like I said, Bruce Lee will kick your face off.
Is the variable that gets me like questioning myself, because a leg is just going to be stronger than an arm. It's just way bigger. So a kick to the face from Bruce Lee would be horrific.
If he gets like an outs, some kind of spinning back kick with a heel to your face, it's a wrap. Dude.
Well, what if Mike Tyson just gives you that uppercut right in the bottom of the chin? What if he just gives you one?
I think a broken jaw is a broken jaw.
Oof.
Whether you get it through a fist or Bruce Lee's foot, it's a bad day. Everything's wired shut. Throw it in the blender for 6 months, and now your parking spot is blue.
All right.
Spaghetti, spaghetti, yay!
Oh, that reminds me, we go to our sponsor, the great Hulk Hogan, where you can get spaghetti anytime you want. How you doing, brother?
Great, brother. Spaghetti, spaghetti, yay, brother.
Oh, well, I know you guys specialize in pastas of all types. I mean, it's Pasta Mania, right? This movie has a very sad opening, a strong performance from Bruce Lee. You know, he probably tapped into some real trauma in his life. He's digging in the ground for his master. Were you ever heartbroken like this? Did you have a master or someone that you had to, you know, they had to hold you back from his maybe the Undertaker, one of the many times he died, and you went to his casket and then he did come back to life though. Like, how was that for you?
It was heartbreak, brother. I remember one time I'm back in Pasta Mania, I'm making fusilli, brother. I make a mean fusilli, brother. I get the call. I hop on that red and yellow Harley, brother. I ride out there to my brother, the Undertaker, brother. I walk in there, he's laying down. He's cold, brother. And then I go in there and I start crying, brother. And sorry about that, brother. It's all right. And I reach in there to touch his cold hand, brother. And then the Undertaker sits up, brother. You know what he did? He sit up like that, brother. And the crowd went wild, brother. And I don't like to admit this to everybody, especially when I'm back here making my pasta, brother. But he got me every time. Every time I thought he was dead, brother, I get choked up.
Now, I heard at WrestleMania he died from a huge fall, and you brought him back to life with rigatoni, just like a little bit. You just dripped it. Is this true? Because I didn't see it. They said it didn't get filmed or the film got destroyed. Did you bring him back to life to rigatoni? With rigatoni?
It's true, brother. The first time I dipped my penis in it, brother. I was going to give him mouth to dick with the rigatoni, brother. But they said we can't put that on TV, Hulkster. So I dipped some of that rigatoni pasta in that gravy, brother. I ran it across his cold, dead lips, brother. And he sat up full of life, brother.
Wow. Now, how many other people have you saved with rigatoni?
I lose count, brother. I carry a little pouch on my hip, brother, like an IV bag of that gravy, brother. And if you're dying, I take some and squirt it in your mouth, brother.
Oh, now has it ever let you down? Have you ever lost someone that you were trying to save with rigatoni?
There was this one time, brother, I'm flying down the PCH on that red and yellow Harley, brother. I see a bad accident, brother. There's bodies laying everywhere, brother. Oh. And they were alive until I came up and leg dropped all of them, brother. Killed them all, brother.
I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation that you did that.
I didn't like the way they were looking at me, brother. Don't kill me, brother. Don't kill me. I have a family, brother. I couldn't help it. I ran up on top of that wrecked car, and I jumped off and leg dropped them all, brother.
I would have done the same. Now, last question before we get you out of here. Thank you for being the only sponsor for Double Impact. And guys, Clearwater, Florida, Pasta Mania. It's open 7 days a week. Kids eat free on Tuesdays. Think about what you think about from the crowd. He's a regular here. He's newly married, new father. He asked, now you know the backstory of this Hulkster. It's a lot of legal stuff, a lot of corruption. He wants to know, you told me, but I haven't told him, why don't hospitals have rigatoni?
Because it's copyright issues, brother. They don't want to pay the right amount for this life-saving liquid, brother. So I keep it to myself.
It's tough, but it's fair. It's tough, but it's fair. Guys, the great Hulkster. All right. All right. We'll see you later, man.
Bye, brother. You know what? I was talking to him one time because he's always around my house, which is weird, even when I'm showering. And turns out there have been like 100 different companies that want to be our sponsors, but he keeps running them off.
Is he the one doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, he's cool, but you know.
No, that explains the guy from Burger King that called me.
Yeah.
He called this guy, this lunatic from Burger King. He said he was the king himself. He called up screaming at me that why did I send this pasta maniac to the Burger King headquarters to destroy his vehicle? I had no idea what this guy was talking about.
I think that's what he was talking about. And like I said, Hulkster, big fan since the 80s, but you're fucking with our money. We'll talk.
Well, you know, he's defending his territory like he defends the championship belt. Anyway.
It's fucked up that he leg dropped all those people at that accident.
Hey, you know, they were giving him a sideways look. So after the very tragic funeral of his master, he goes back into the school and it's a bit of all right he runs into here.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Hey. So there's always a romantic interest, and this is her, Yuan Lee, I think it's Yuan something.
You want me.
You want this? But that's his romantic interest. So I'm sure he was happy to run into her. But yeah, he's back now, and his mission is to find out how his teacher died, because they're saying that he was sick. But he knows better than that because of how healthy his teacher was and how, you know, he used to teach him, and he was in great shape. So he doesn't believe that he was sick like everybody else says.
Right. I wonder if Rigatoni could have saved the teacher.
If only, man. You know, it's hard to get good Italian food in Shanghai in 1938. But I think if, you know, maybe some of Hulkster's family that was alive back then, because those rigatoni recipes are really old. I feel like somebody could have done something. But
you know, don't ever bring that up. You know, the whole thing about Marco Polo bringing pasta back from Asia to Italy, and then like the tomato stuff, dude. Don't ever bring that up in front of the Hulkster, dude. He gets hot.
Yeah, he gets pissed, man. A few hot button topics.
No, we invented pasta and all this. Like he gets. I saw a side of him that I did not know about.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah. No, he almost leg dropped me. I saw it coming. You know.
You wouldn't be here, man.
The Ferg says, "Greetings, fellow Americans." Greetings
Thank
to
you.
Ferg.
Thank you, Zifferg.
Zifferg.
Well, when you say it like that.
So he's discussing, he's arguing with everyone at the school, right, about the master, and he wasn't just sick. Something must have happened. Something
that's bullshit.
Sinister.
Yeah.
You know, and he's going to get to the bottom of it.
And so this is like the Chinese law enforcement, police. And he's basically telling them, you know, the teacher died of illness, and that's that. But Bruce ain't having that shit. Right. And slowly but surely, some of the other people in the school come around. But as I mentioned last week, you're going to see a lot of, the more Bruce Lee movies we do, you're going to see a lot of these same faces. The guy in the middle to his left, that guy played Bruce Lee's cousin in Fist of Fury, or Big Boss, as they called it in China. You'll see a guy later on. He was the bad guy in that movie that Bruce Lee fought at the end. But in this movie, he's somebody else. So it's almost like an Adam Sandler thing, where you see a lot of the same faces in all of Bruce Lee's movies, which is pretty cool.
Right. You always see Chris Rock, David Spade, and Kevin James.
Guaranteed. Right? And Rob Schneider, and the guy who was, damn it, he was in Grandma's Boy, the guy who sold him the weed, but that guy's in all of his movies too.
Oh, the blonde guy?
No, he wasn't blind.
Huh.
But he sold the guy, the main character, weed in Grandma's Boy.
I saw Grandma's Boy like 15 years ago, and I don't remember it.
It's so funny. And Nick Swartzen too. He's another
Nick Swartzen. That's the blonde guy that I met. You know.
Yeah, he's hilarious. So funny. Shit's weak. But anyway, yeah, great movie.
The Tomb Raider action figure scene in Grandma's Boy was horrible. Horrible.
Oh, what a good movie.
Horrible.
What a good movie.
Remember those goofy 2000s comedy movies? The one I liked that I thought was real funny and thankfully not too dirty, because I don't like movies that are too dirty and sexual, was Beer Fest. I liked
Beer Fest.
So
That's
funny.
was
the greatest beer in the world.
What were those guys called? Lounge Lizards or something?
Broken Lizard.
Broken Lizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had another one. There's another one you got to see called Slam and Salmon.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
And I
Michael
saw
Clark Duncan.
like something island, like Tropical Paradise Island.
Was it like Dead Island or something?
It was Murder Island or something, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was for like 99. Yeah, 99 to like 2007 was the shit for those movies.
Super Troopers, sure.
Yeah.
I remember them, there was a girl in that Dead Island or whatever the hell that movie was, and her name was Penelope, but for some reason the guy called her Penelope, and I always thought that was so funny.
And the guy who played Farva in Super Troopers,
right?
He said, "If you say shenanigans one more time, I'm gonna pistol whip you." Hey, Farva, what's that restaurant with all this shit on the wall? You mean shenanigans?
Now, what's the Ryan Reynolds Waiting movie? Oh, Waiting. The Waiting movie.
Yeah, that was funny too.
And he worked at Shenanigans. It was supposed to be like Bennigan's or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Bennigan's is? I don't know if it's they don't have them in California. Bennigan's is an Irish-themed Applebee's, Chili's kind of restaurant. Yeah. Same thing, you know.
And again, that was what 2005. You know, that sweet spot, man. Club Dread, thank you.
Club Dread, thank you. I'm like Dead Island, Tropical Death, Killer Island.
Homicide Place. What was it called? We were close.
Speaking of food and disgusting things, I have a friend. I got to tell you guys. Think of the grossest thing you've ever tasted or smelled in your life. Let's go story time here.
Got it.
We'll come back to the movie. We're barely into it, but this needs to be talked about. What happened to me yesterday was the grossest thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
And hilarious.
I take a walk at lunch for exercise. I love to lift weights. I really watch what I eat nowadays. I drink protein shakes. I got these Fairlife protein. It's made out of whey protein. That's the protein from milk. It's shelf stable. You don't have to refrigerate it. And I'll walk by them in my house. I'm like, I wonder how this works. You never have to refrigerate it. And they come in packs of like 16 or whatever. And I was down to 2. I took my walk and I was like, I don't have time to cook. I got to get back to work on this cover I was drawing or coloring yesterday. I already drew it. So I'm going to down 2 of these and then lift weights and then get back to work. I down 1, the phone rings. It's a guy calling from a background check place because a friend of mine looking to get a loan, looking to get a job, whatever. He needs a background check, a friend of mine. Mm-hmm. How long you known this guy? This guy, you think he's on drugs or alcohol? And I'm just answering all these great questions. I open the second Fairlife chocolate protein, 30 grams per serving, 140 calories. It didn't smell like anything, but I cannot describe what it tasted like to you. It wasn't rotten milk. Everyone has had a sip of rotten milk, a little blue cheesy funk. This was beyond that. This was in another dimension. Ugh. It was chemically. It had notes of paint thinner and mold and sewage, and it was beyond rotten fish. This is the most disgusting flavor I've ever tasted in my life. And I shotgun the first one, delicious, chocolatey, creamy. So I shotgun the second one, and I get about 2 tablespoons in my mouth, and I'm talking to this guy on the phone for the background check, and I swallow it because I'm going so fast. Just immediately start retching, hit the mute on my phone. And he's like, so this friend of yours, is he trustworthy? Blah, blah. And I'm like, unmute. Yes. No, I've known him 2 years. And I and I am like on the edge, but I don't want to tell the guy on the phone, hey, I'm about to throw up, so I'll call you back.
Call me back.
Because then my friend won't get the job or the loan or the car or whatever the hell he was up to. And I run into the kitchen. My wife and daughter and the baby are there. They're making the baby lunch, and they just look at me like I'm insane. And I grab a giant cup, and I start filling it with water. And the guy's talking on speakerphone. So your friend, you think he's honest? And I'm like, yes. And I hit mute, like, and my wife looks at me. I'm like, I have to throw this up. It was disgusting. So what my plan is to drink a bunch of water and then go make myself retch a bunch. But I keep answering questions. And but I didn't throw up. Guys, I can't describe this flavor, and it didn't smell. It only tasted awful. It didn't smell. I run to the bathroom. He asked me one final question. So is there anything about this guy that you would like to add? And I go, whoever wants to hire him, if they don't, they're making a mistake. And I look at the phone and it's on fucking mute. So he didn't hear me. And there's just silence. So I unmute it and I say it again. And he's like, okay, well, thank you. And of course, you should say thank you, goodbye. And I can't because I'm like, and I hit mute again. And after like 5 weird seconds of silence, I go, thank you, bye. And then I hang up. Proceed to drink about a gallon of water and force myself to throw up about 20 times. And I'm a good friend. Because I stayed with that fucking interview to help my friend. I didn't puss out. I rose to the occasion like a man.
You did.
You know, I don't like, I told my friend yesterday, I told him this story. I don't like to throw around the word hero, but that was heroic, what I did.
It is what it is, man. You are what you are.
Diesel, thank God I didn't get sick. Because I was like, oh no, because I didn't want to get the diarrhea and the vomiting and all the food poisoning. But I made myself throw up so many glasses of water to get that out. Dude, it was...
The Hershey squirts. You don't
I
want
can't
that.
describe it. We've all drank the rotten milk by accident. We've all smelled fish that have turned... This was just light years beyond that. I can't...
It was its own category.
Oh, for the rest of the day, I kept tasting it, but just in my imagination. Like, I go, like it would just come back into my mind. So
Good guy, dude.
You're welcome, people. You're welcome, friend out there. You're welcome. You're welcome.
You better be watching too.
You
better be watching.
But that was the all-time grossest thing. I think the grossest thing that ever happened to me. That was beyond disgusting.
He owes you.
Yeah.
All
All the polls part 2. Guys, I'm coming back to the poll today. Apple won the first round as predicted. I should have put money on this one. Pecan won the second. We're going to end the poll, and then we're going to do a lot of the movie. We'll come back to
How the fuck did peanut pie get 24%? Peanut pie is not even a real thing, I don't think.
Because we got a bunch of jokers in there.
Fucking guys.
Okay, and I don't want any jokes or snickering, all right? The third category is best cream pie. Save your jokes.
Just a regular cream pie. That's the best one. But yeah, you got to go banana cream pie.
Banana. Chocolate. Cocoa nut.
Ew, coconut? Fuck that.
I'm just naming cream pies that I know.
Ew.
And what's a fourth cream pie?
I think we know.
Come on, man. Give me a real cream pie.
That is a real cream pie.
Banana.
It's the realest one there is. Wouldn't want to eat it though.
Banana, chocolate, coconut. Is there like I'll add cheesecake as a wild card.
Oh, how about Boston cream pie?
Okay, Boston cream pie. There you go. That's a cake, though.
Is it?
It is a cake. It's called Boston. It's a 2-layer yellow cake with the cream in the middle and a chocolate sauce on top.
Oh, I know what's in it. But it's still called a Boston cream pie.
No, this is only cakes, this thing. I'll add cheesecake. It's creamy. And it's a pie. Okay, best cream pie. I don't want any jokes.
I think that's all you're going to get.
Okay.
I'm going to start a food porn site called Only Cakes. Yeah.
Bean pie. We're going to savory cakes next. We're going to go to the meat, the shepherd's pie, the steak.
Those aren't pies. Those aren't fucking pies.
We're doing it in honor of our British friend, Matthew Marsden.
Gross. Meat pie? Ew.
Diesel used to buy bean pies from the Nation of Islam Brothers.
Hey, that's a real thing. I remember being down in Mississippi and like they stand on the medians in between traffic and they got the bow ties on and shit, slinging bean pies, man.
Yeah. It's too late for key lime, Mark. You should have screamed it out earlier. Maybe I didn't see it.
Yeah, key lime. That's a good one. I want to go to Key West. That's a key lime.
Melodic method. Bit into an apple that had a worm in it, like he's in a fucking Tom and Jerry cartoon. He's spitting out before he knew what was happening. Oof.
Yeah, I chewed on a fly one time. That was pretty gross.
Oof. Oh, my wife was eating some Campbell's soup out of a can. It's like rice and chicken and things, and she's eating it, and she's like, holds the spoon to me like, it looks like rice or millet. She's all, what are these? And they were little gray things with like reddish black eyes that looked like a piece of rice.
Rice doesn't have eyes.
And I asked her, how many of those did you eat?
Was she eating it out of the can or just came out of the can?
She warmed it up and didn't notice it in the soup. Obviously, it didn't hurt her. So
yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get to the
disgusting.
bottom of this cream pie.
Yeah.
Cheesecake looking strong. Chocolate too. Nobody likes banana. All right. Anyway, the authorities tell him there was no conspiracy. Your master was not murdered. He got the sniffles. He got sick and he's dead.
Mhm.
And that's the end of it. Shut up. I don't want to hear anything else about it. But Bruce Lee is not taking no for an answer. And guess who comes in? I hate this guy.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Smug little jerk, this guy.
He also in what was it? Return of the Dragon. He also plays a little fucking quisling. Yes, boss. Like he's the main bad guy's
that
right hand
mustache, man. Just it's perfect.
Fucking little prick. This is, I think we can categorize this as the ultimate disrespect. This is at the funeral. This isn't the day after or a week after. This is at the funeral. Bruce Lee has just regained consciousness from being on top of his teacher's grave, trying to dig him up with his bare hands, and these fuckers come in. These are the Japanese guys. So this is the interpreter for the Japanese crime boss. So he translates from, between him and the Chinese people who are way down on the totem pole. So he brings these two fuckers with him, and you could see the guy
with the red hair.
In the background with the red hair, the guy on the right. What he's carrying is a sign. That's the big sign right there. And what it says is
at the master's funeral, they have him open this effing sign.
At the funeral, okay, at the funeral. They act like they're giving him a gift, and they open it. And remember, they said that his teacher died from an illness. And that sign says "Sick Men of Asia." That's what he in the dude's dojo, or whatever you call it, Chinese or a kung fu school. It's kung fu school. At his funeral, they bring him a sign that says "Sick Men of Asia."
Now that's a kick in both nuts. And here's some historical context. Not only are they calling the master the sick man of China, that was the insulting, derogatory name on the international political scene for China at the time. That China was this weak country that had no money, no military, no nothing. And they were the, quote, sick man of Asia. That was actually a well-known phrase about China. So this is a insult to the master and just an insult to the people. No respect, just mud on the bottom of the boot is how they're treating him.
And to come in and to walk into his funeral and do that, it's just the ultimate slap in the face, kick to the nuts. And so what he says is, if anybody can beat me, the other guy, the black hair, the short one, if anybody can beat me, I'll eat this sign. So of course, everybody else is too scared. Bruce Lee is going to step up, but somebody sticks their hand out and holds him back.
This is the guy that little
fucker right there.
Sign. This guy's a hungry hippo.
Yeah, he'll eat the sign if any of those Chinese dudes can whoop his ass. So as you can see by the look on Bruce Lee's face, not only is he willing, but he is able to beat the shit out of this dude. But they stop him because I would say because they're being persecuted, they don't want him to kick the shit out of this Japanese dude because that'll bring a lot of heat down on the school and probably the Chinese people around in that area in general. So they hold back Bruce Lee, who is ready to fuck this dude up, but he doesn't.
Yeah, it's sad. I think all people, one thing that unites all humans, unless you're a complete sociopath, is we hate bullying. We hate punching down. We hate when someone has the power that hides them and protects them, and then they poke down like that. We all despise it. And the Japanese have the power of the state here. They're in charge basically of the government here. In another person's country, in China, they're running it, and they're like, F you guys, we're just going to rub your face in it.
That would be like Canada coming down here, taking us over, and just punching us, kicking us, beating us, throwing us in prison, insulting us, and just making us second-class citizens in our own home. Fellas, it would be like a man coming into your house and making you his bitch in your own house. You would want to do to this dude, you can imagine, and that's where they are, but they don't have the power. Yeah. Justin Trudeau would be in blackface in your face. He loves blackface. That's probably not only the only part of the black person that he likes. Dude, you're muted, dude. Still muted, dude.
When he was reelected
There
a
we
few
go.
years back, these photos surfaced of Justin Trudeau in blackface. And there were like 4 or 5 different times where he did it. And a reporter asked him, how many times have you done this? And like all politicians, he's dodging. Like, oh, I don't know. But the guy burned him so bad. Like going, can you ballpark it? Like if you can't even ballpark how many times you do blackface, you love blackface.
He loves it.
You know,
Very Al Jolson.
There you go. Goodness.
So yeah, this movie is just chock full of moments of extreme disrespect by the Japanese invaders.
And by the way, Hollywood, when you do all your woke class oppression stuff, this is how you do it here. You know what I mean? Like this doesn't feel woke, even though there's like clearly ethnic, racial hatred, but it doesn't feel woke. It's historical. And they're not saying all Japanese are that way. You know what I mean? They're like, these guys are pricks. You know what I mean? So,
boy, they sure are. I mean, damn. And again, any good action movie, you got to make the bad guys bad. And they do that.
Oh,
and this guy, he's Chinese. He's Chinese. He's one of them. But not only is he the interpreter, but he's totally become the lapdog for the Japanese crime boss. Right. And there's a scene later on where he kind of gets his just desserts, which is pretty funny.
Johnny Truth, Spittin' Truth. He says Canada does have oil, and it needs some freedom.
Let's go get.
That's a combo we love in America.
Dude, let's go liberate Canada.
You were a military man. There was 2 things they would talk about, like has oil, needs freedom. Okay.
Boom.
That's my
check
checklist.
And check. Let's go get them.
Go.
Let's go make Canada the 51st state.
So I'm glad you pointed that out, Jericho. This guy is Chinese, and he's working with the Japanese oppressors against his own people. And he has that stupid little mustache and the fucking glasses and that big old lollipop head. And he's me. He's just that guy.
Yeah. Ugh. And it's not like I have to do this. I don't want to, but they're forcing me to. You know, my family, they're gonna hurt him or something. No, he loves it. You see the suit. He's living good. He's eating good. But it's at what cost? And totally berating and fucking just shitting all over his own people. So this scene is awesome. So Bruce Lee basically says, "Fuck you. I am not going to take this kind of disrespect laying down. I'm going to do something about it." So he grabs a sign, he wraps it up, and he goes to the Japanese school. And he opens a sign, and everybody gets a laugh out of it. And he walks up and he says, "I want you and you." That's a little fucker right there, the redhead dude. He's like, "I want you guys." And so that's their master, their teacher of their school. And so he goes up to him and shit. And, he doesn't look like much, a little fat dude with his glasses, but he's the man. And he walks up to Bruce Lee, or he sends that guy up to Bruce Lee.
The blue.
Yeah, that guy, the one who said, "If anybody can beat me, I'll eat this sign." And he goes up to Bruce Lee and he goes, "Hey, come here." And he goes to grab him, and Bruce Lee just, fucking throws him an elbow. Don't even look at him. Just throws him an elbow. Get the fuck off of me. And you can totally see that his skills are far more dominant than anybody there. And so he gives the word, and the whole class surrounds him. And they're all, this is cool. This shot's like from above, like the bird's eye view. And they're all about to converge on him. And he holds his hand up, which is kind of like, even though they see him as a piece of shit Chinese dude, there's a mutual respect of combat. So he says, "Hold on." He puts his hand up, so they stop. And then he takes off his shirt. And then, as you can see, he commences to whooping everybody's ass.
I do like that the shirt has to come off for the beatings. That's a good move. It's a power move,
Yeah, and that's the iconic Bruce Lee look. No shirt, the muscles, and all that shit. And the last one, Enter the Dragon, he had the cut marks on his stomach and his face. And so they make the mistake of allowing him to pull out a pair of nunchucks. And he starts going to work on everybody.
He's giving out free tooth extractions. He's moonlighting as a dentist here with these things.
Yeah, he's giving out free tooth extractions and goose eggs. So if you want a big ass goose egg on the top of your head, he's handing them out for free, no charge, with a smile. And he's like rolling around on the floor, bashing people's fucking feet. Like he's kicking. There's like 20 dudes in there, beats the shit out of all of them. And then the teacher. So now, of course, the teacher has to show that he's the man. and he has to take on Bruce Lee. And he's very nervous. He's like sweating and shit. And he takes off his glasses. And Bruce Lee, in almost a comical way, he like kicks him in his ass at one point. Kicks the shit out of his teacher, out of everybody's teacher. And then he puts on his shirt, and he's pointing out to he doesn't even say anything. He just goes, you get your ass over here. And so this part is so funny. So he fucking they're all sad and shit. He's like, no, come here, bitch.
You in the black, you in the blue. Get up here. You look hungry. Here. You boys look hungry.
He takes a sign. There's like glass on it, and that's fucked up too. They made him a very nice sign. There's a framed glass and everything. Yeah. He takes a sign and he smashes it up against one of the pillars and breaks the glass. And he fucking takes the sign and rips it into two pieces, and he hands it to him. And he's shoving the because they said, if you can beat me, I'll eat the sign. So he gives that dude a piece of it, lets him feed himself. But the other guy, he takes a piece of it and starts shoving it in his throat, and the guy's choking, and he goes, eat. And me and my brother used to say that shit to each other all the time. He goes, eat. Then he just shoves it in his mouth. And then he's all, listen up. I'll only say it once. We are not sick men. And then he walks out, and the dude's like, like coughing up paper and shit. So Bruce Lee's a cold motherfucker right from the beginning. But as they knew, the reason they kept him from beating him up at the funeral is because that's going to bring some heat. Because the Japanese, invaders will not have any kind of Chinese uprising. They will not have this martyr for people to get behind and show, yeah, we can beat them. So they ain't having that shit.
Okay. That is an amazing scene. And he does say, did you say, I'm sorry, I was writing something. This time it's paper. Next time it'll be glass.
Oh, yeah. So this time it'll be paper. And the fucking voiceover for his voice is so fucking crazy. But he goes, this time it'll be paper. This time it's paper. Next time it'll be glass. And he just fucking shoves it in their mouth. I'll make you eat the glass next time, bitch. You lucky. Basically, you lucky I don't make you eat the glass, you piece of shit. And then he walks out. Gangster, too, just like fucking closes his shirt and walks out. And then
like that. That's why I got to pick on that, like the fluff of the little
he's
on
just
the
like
collar, like
hey, like the Fonz, man, you guys ain't shit. And so he's walking out, and he sees the Japanese writing on the wall, like these tablets or whatever, and he takes his fist and he hits them and breaks them, like those tablets right there, and he breaks them. So this guy, he don't know what just happened. He's like, hey, what are you doing? And Bruce Lee gives him a look, like he looks at him and he looks him up and down, like, nah, you're too weak to beat up. And he just takes off. But yeah, he could have, fucked this little dude up real bad. But the way he looks at him is like, all right, I'll let you go, you fucking scumbag. But yeah, he beats the shit out of everybody in that room. And you'll see there's a movie, I think it was in the mid-90s, maybe 94, Jet Li did a movie called Fist of the Legend. And is
it a remake or?
Yeah, basically it's a remake of this, where, Japanese occupation in China, blah, blah, blah. And then that famous scene where he fights the whole class. But I think this one was better.
All right, guys, things are moving fast. Apple is the best fruit. Pecan is the best nut pie. Chocolate is the best cream. And for savory pie, chicken pot pie, steak and kidney, shepherd's pie quiche. I've never had steak and kidney. The other three I love. I could eat an entire one of all of those.
Oh, chicken pot pie?
Chicken pot pie is insane. Shepherd's pie is insane. Quiche with a little cheese, broccoli, onion. Quiche Lorraine, like your ham and cheese. Or you could do the bacon, broccoli, cheese, and onion. Quiche is insane. My wife makes a good one, homemade crust. So the four pies will face off at the end. Apple versus chocolate versus nut. I guess we can only do the sweet against sweet. We can't do the savory. So this is a separate category. So the winner of this is just the winner of savory.
I make an amazing chicken pot pie with a phyllo dough top. But man, chicken pot pie, that's the shit.
Ooh.
Quiche is like egg, like a frittata almost. It's like egg and a crust, and you can put, like Gabe said, broccoli, bacon, cheese and stuff.
It's a baked custard. So it's cream and eggs, right? Get 10% off. Get the fuck out of here. I don't need your stupid coupon. 10%. It's cream and eggs. And then you throw ingredients in it. So it's like a velvety smooth, not like flan, but more similar to flan than scrambled eggs. A velvety smooth egg pie. You put it in an amazing buttery crust, and it's out of
It is delicious. Yeah.
Out of this world. Isn't pizza technically pie? Yes. And I didn't put it in because I knew it would just win. Pizza would beat all of them. So
pizza's the most amazing,
yeah.
one of the most amazing foods, never mind
Do
pie.
you remember a cultural thing in movies and cartoons and shows when we were little, late 70s, early 80s, that no manly man would eat quiche? I heard that in like 3 or 4 different movies and shows and cartoons growing up, that was like a thing that men would say, like arrogant,
Yeah, I think it's because of the way it sounds. Quiche. Like if you eat that, then you definitely like
Je voudrais un quiche, Lorraine.
Yeah, you definitely like butt stuff if you eat quiche.
I'm just speaking French. Doesn't mean I have to love butts. Jeez.
Oui. It does.
Je parle français. J'étudie français pas 3 ans quand je vais à l'école. So I said I speak French. I studied French for 3 years when I was in high school. Pumpkin pie and sweet potato pie only for Halloween. Ooh, those are good.
That was a Thanksgiving thing in my house. Sweet potato pie.
Never had it. Had pumpkin pie.
Delicious. I think it's better than pumpkin pie.
Love shepherd's pie, especially when my mom makes it in corn, mashed potatoes, hamburger meat, Jamaican jerk sauce, shredded cheese. What? I'll eat it. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Send me
my wife makes a killer quiche, a killer shepherd's pie. It's a hamburger with the brown hamburger gravy, peas, carrots, a little bit of onion, mashed potatoes on top, homemade, butter filled, crust with the real butter, not the damn, Crisco or anything like that. So,
yeah, right. I do most of the cooking in my house, and I think it's a good thing that my wife isn't a great cook, because I'd be on my 600-pound life immediately.
Mousy, I beg your pardon. A properly prepared quiche is heaven sent. Quiche is absolutely
agreed. There was just that stigma, back in the day that no real man would eat out.
No man would eat a quiche. It was a weird thing you would hear, like in an old Western or something like that.
But I would.
Melodic method. What is jerk sauce? It's a Jamaican spice.
I think
it's peppery. It's garlicky. It's a little bit of citrus. I don't know which one. I don't remember. I have
Scotch bonnet peppers. It's hot.
Right.
It's hot. And it's also exactly what you think it is.
Oh, our friend Superman makes a shepherd's pie from his grandmother's recipe. I did not know that. Sounds delish.
That is super.
The name is a bit Fruit Loopy. For quiche, it's French.
Yeah.
It's en français.
And we know about the French.
Ooh, look at this. Make a crazy smoked ham and blended cheese pie. What on earth is a cheese? Is the pie filled with cheese?
Sounds good. I'd try it. Better than fucking steak and kidney pie. Ew.
I just put that in there for Marston. He's trying to get me to eat that.
Oh, I know. I know you're watching that.
Okay. You want me to call the police on you? Not you, but if you own a pizza restaurant and you do this, I'm calling the cops. If you put the pepperoni under the cheese, I'm calling the police.
I've seen that.
What in the hell?
That's
How
a bit
is it
of
supposed to get crispy under the damn cheese?
Yeah, that's
all
a bit
the water
of
comes out under the cheese.
It's a bit of a mind fuck for your mouth, because pizza, you're expecting a certain order. I've had that before. It's not the worst, but yeah, you definitely don't get that crispy pepperoni with the little grease puddles in it.
It's terrible. Ugh.
Yeah, fuck that. That's a serial killer pie right there.
There's a family-owned Italian place in San Diego, which I will not name, called Felipe's. I just named it. They have like 10 locations. People love this place. I can't stand it because they do this. They do the toppings under the cheese, so it's all watery under there. Nothing got crispy and brown. And then they put too much cheese, and it's all like not melted and browned. The cheese gets a better flavor when it browns.
Yeah.
This cheese at Felipe's is like you left the pizza in the back of your car. Just kind of warm. Just white and just kind of soft.
No,
it's
you're
the worst pizza on earth, Felipe's. Sorry, Felipe's. I had to do it.
Now, what's that place, the bar that we went to that we were
Basic.
Basic, yeah. That pizza was out of this world.
That's legit. That's good pizza.
Yeah.
Yes. They must cook the pepperoni before making pizza. You know what I just discovered? The New York style pizza with the little pepperonis, and they turn into little pizza cups and they fill with orange grease. Prince Street Pizza is a famous pizza place in New York City. It must be on Prince Street in New York City. And they opened one downtown San Diego near the convention center. They do the pizza cuppies. And then they put spicy honey on it. Sounds weird. It's delicious.
Oh, sounds good to me.
Gabe, never come to Detroit and get traditional Detroit style pizza. The pepperoni goes on the cheese. Yeah, I've had Detroit pizza. I had it in Vegas at Pizza Rock, which is an award-winning pizza place. Did not like it. Didn't like it.
That's got to be on top. Don't be hiding shit under the cheese.
Yeah.
Only thing that should be under the cheese is sauce.
Luke is literally showing off. He likes frozen Tony's pizza. He just has to show off in front of everyone.
You got a real sophisticated mouth there,
right.
Lucas.
He wears an ascot when he eats it. Oh, is this a Tony's pizza? No.
Oh, is that a Mama Celeste there? I'll take.
Oh, I feel it pairs well with a pineapple fago.
Oh, I love the red batter. No.
What if the pizza gives everyone scissors? What are you talking about? I don't know.
Oh, is that a Cobra reference for that piece of shit?
I don't know.
Cobretti cut it up with the scissors.
Oh, of course.
That was fucking terrible.
Okay, well, the polls can end. Chicken pot pie is the winner of savory pie. It won.
Yeah.
Now we will do the final poll to find the ultra sweet pie. The savory pie, we got the winner. Then we'll move back to the movie. Okay, start a poll. Best sweet pie. Sweetie pie. We had apple, chocolate, cream. What was the other one?
Pecan.
All right. I don't like the chocolate. I don't like the cream pies at all. I don't think they're good. So here we go. This is the pie of pies. So we got chicken pot pie and go in here. Apple, chocolate, or pecan, and we will settle this once and for all.
What about, I think I've heard of an apple pecan pie before.
Oh, interesting.
I'd fuck with that for sure.
Now, do you do the apple just regular with the lattice pastry on top, or do you like the sugary crumble thing on top?
I do like a Dutch apple. I'll fuck with both, but Dutch apple is good.
I think the Dutch is better with that crusty sugar thing on top. Yeah. Spoken as former fat guys. Yeah.
Definitely fuck with that.
All right, here we go. So yeah, he smashes up all the signage that the Japanese school had on their wall. I like the look on this guy's face too. Oh!
He's like, hey, what are you doing? Not knowing that he's approaching a fucking great white shark. You know, he has, because he didn't see what happened in there. But man, it just got fucked up. But he lets him slide. He's a good guy. That's the Japanese crime boss right there. And there's a little quizzling fucking sniveling piece of shit translator back there.
Real quick, Johnny Truth, 5 Canadian. Nobody knows how much money that is in American dollars. I could be a billionaire right now.
I think it's 2 million American.
See you guys later. I'm out.
And the show's over. Good night.
95,000. Your thoughts on Bizarro's music capability? Are you talking about Bizarro, the reverse Superman from the comic books? Well, I would say Superman is a disciplined, smart guy. So he probably knows how to play the piano or something traditional they would learn in Middle America where Superman was raised. So if Bizarro was the opposite, what is the opposite of playing the piano well?
Saying ding, ding, ding.
I would say that Bizarro plays the accordion horribly or something like that. You know.
And what was that? It was a Justice League, and what was that other league called?
The Injustice Gang.
Yeah.
I like how Bizarro speaks backwards. Instead of saying like hello or whatever, he says bad bye.
Yeah. Those guys had a lot of fun making those cartoons.
Let's see. Michael Coulter, Gabe and Jericho Green. I made birria tacos one day.
Birria.
And they were the bomb. Plus, I'm learning how to cook. I love prep cooking. Well, good for you, Michael Coulter. I think everyone should learn to cook because A, it's easy to learn to cook, and B, y'all love to eat. So if you don't want to be eating Lunchables or 7-Eleven nachos, learn to cook. Everything in my house, like we do so much homemade, like the spaghetti sauce is homemade. And when you learn how to do these things, it's like 3-4 steps. It's so, my dad's a gourmet chef, so I have a bit of an advantage in learning. But when you learn these things, it's so simple. It's so simple.
Yeah, and cooking, it can be intimidating, you know, especially if it looks complicated or something. But once you really get into it, and there are some very complicated things to make, but you can amass quite the repertoire when it comes to cooking that with a lot of things that are very easy.
Yeah, we had adobada chicken tacos the other day. Didn't make the tortillas, but I got them from a local tortilleria that used one ingredient, corn. They were delicious. But we had the chicken. I made the homemade salsa, very easy to make. Don't be buying paste pecani sauce. Made homemade guacamole. Don't be buying tubs of guacamole. What the hell? And and when you eat it, it's so satisfying. It's so good. My wife is on a sourdough kick right now. She made her own starter and all that. And it's delicious, her sourdough bread that she's been making. So
yeah, we have neighbors across the street, and one of them is on a fucking bread sourdough kick. And something she made and sent over a loaf of that I never heard of before was chocolate sourdough bread.
That sounds
Tell
good.
Adrian to look that one up. That shit was crazy.
That sounds delish.
Yes,
So
it was.
You know, one of my favorite things that's easy to make, and I made it on the first try after reading a recipe on the internet. Homemade, all natural, so it's good for you because it's not made of motor oil. Homemade nacho cheese sauce. It is so easy to make. Don't be buying Cheese Whiz. That is not food. It's not good for you. The homemade cheese sauce is so much better. You make a bechamel. That's a white sauce with the cream and the flour and the butter. And you add your cheddar cheese, some spices. It's so easy to make. You can put shallots in it first. When you make homemade nachos like that, insane. Insanely good. So
yeah, I make my daughter got me a recipe book. So now everything that I make, I always jot down the recipe in the recipe book she got for me. But yeah, cheese sauces, very easy to make.
Right.
Don't be intimidated by words like bechamel.
One thing that I made legendary on my first attempt, so the family kept asking me to make it at every Christmas and get together, was macaroni and cheese.
Oh yeah,
noodles. You just boil the noodles with a little bit of salt water, right? That's simple. But it's all about the cheese sauce. Then you cut some bacon fine and you sprinkle that on top. But the problem with macaroni and cheese that almost everyone serves, you go to their house, you cut into the macaroni and cheese, and that's the problem. You're cutting into it. It's dry. To me, macaroni and cheese should be like gravy. There should be a river of liquid cheese while you're eating it. It should not congeal, should not get sucked up in the noodles. My technique is to fill the giant pan with like 2 gallons of cheese sauce, have the noodles ready, drive to so-and-so's house on Christmas, and right before it's time to serve, dump the cheese in there and stir it, throw the bacon on top. That's how it's done. You want liquid cheese while you're eating.
Yeah, I don't bake it. I tried it one time, baked it.
Don't bake it. No,
and it just takes all the moisture out of it.
No, the noodles get all fat and oversaturated, and like no, and all the moisture comes out, and it's like you're eating slightly cheese flavored noodles. It sucks.
Yeah, gross. Don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why Jericho and I are both losing weight right now.
Yeah, it's because of things like homemade
love
mac
to
and
eat,
cheese.
Love to eat, and we both know how to cook. So
sure do. So this is the Japanese Snidely Whiplash right here. He's the Japanese crime boss, and they're telling him what just happened. And those 3 guys standing in the back are 3 of the guys who got their ass whooped. And you could see, and the teacher back there, he got his ass whooped. And then the 2 guys who ate the sign, everybody in that room got their ass whooped, except for the boss and the interpreter.
Yeah. And the boss has got a great face. Those eyes and those eyebrows, I would draw something like that in a comic book. That's a great villain face.
Yeah.
You know, like, he has eyes like an eagle, this guy. You know?
Yeah, and he's
powerful.
Very, that's going to happen. Make it right. Go. Like, he's always banging on tables and shit. Very loud, powerful voice. He's a good villain.
Oh, we got another one. And I didn't give you your little thing. Johnny Truth for 5. He's talking about Bizarro again, the reverse Superman from the comic books. What about his magic capabilities? Well, Superman's one weakness besides kryptonite is magic. He's weak against magic in the comic books. So I would assume that Bizarro is strong against magic. I don't know. I mean, I worked there forever at DC Comics, but I don't know. I don't have an opinion on Bizarro's magic abilities because I don't know if he has any. Sorry. I wish I had more for you. But in consolation, since you send in now 10 Canadian, I'll give you one of these.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your
There we go. All right. So these guys, the little quisling, the fat teacher and the 3 goon students, they have to go tell their boss they got their asses kicked.
Yep. And they are very scared to do so.
He's not happy about it. So then we get a taste of what life is like for the Chinese
Oh boy.
under the oppression of the very, very bigoted Japanese here. Bruce Lee's going for a stroll in the park, or so he thinks. This lady must be Japanese, walking in with her dog.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to get past security, and the guy there in the dark brown shirt and the green, not a dress, but whatever, I don't know what that piece of clothing is called. But robe, I guess, I don't know. Tells Bruce, "You're Chinese, sick man of Asia. I'll let you into our nice, exclusive, beautiful park if you walk in there like a dog."
Hold on. So he sees the lady go walk, and it was a white lady too, strangely enough.
Yeah.
So he sees the lady. There's a sign right there to right behind Bruce Lee on that pillar.
Right.
And it says no dogs or Chinese allowed. And then that lady walks in, and the Indian guy at the entrance says, like, basically welcomes her, like, "Oh, how are you today?" Welcomes her in, right? So Bruce Lee taps on him, he points at the sign, and the Indian guy tells him, and I used to say this, me and my brother used to say this all the time to each other. He's like, "I'm sorry, you're the wrong color." And so he turns to walk away, and then this big group of young, like, early 20s Japanese men and women, like they're all couples or whatever, they all walk up, and he goes up to him and says, "You want to go in?" And he says, "Yeah." He's like, No. You're doing it all wrong." He's like, "Get down like a dog and I'll take you in." And everybody goes, "Ha, ha, ha, ha." And they all start laughing at him. But little do they know, he just got done beating the shit out of a whole room full of Japanese people. So what's one more or 3 more? So that's what he's telling me. He's like, no. You got it all wrong. And they show this. So after he hits the guy, he beats up like the 3 men, right?
Right.
But the last guy, the one who told him, "Get down like a dog and I'll take you in," it shows it from behind. So he punches this dude, and he flies up against like these metal bars, like the gate right there that they close at night to close the park. And he knocks the guy up against it, and they see it from behind. So you just see Bruce Lee throwing haymakers on this dude. Boom, boom, boom. Fucking beats the shit out of this dude, and he knocks him out, and the guy just slides down. And as the guy slides down, Bruce Lee's face comes into frame, and he's just pissed off, like holding his fist like in the air, or holding his fist like where it was after he just punched him. Beats the shit out of this dude. All the girls are like, "Oh my God." And he jumps up, kicks the sign with his left foot up in the air, and then takes his right foot. Boom, shatters the sign into a million pieces. He lands, and the Indian guy takes his whistle, starts blowing his whistle for the cops, and all these Chinese students come out of nowhere and like surround Bruce Lee in a circle and like get him out of there. They like hide him and tell him, "Oh, let's go," and they get him out of there to safety. But this scene is crazy because as soon as the guy tells, no, he got it all wrong, and that just sets him off and fucking beats the shit out of all 3 of those dudes.
Can you imagine being the guy whose job it was not to be the man and the enforcer, but to be the guy blowing his little whistle to call real men to handle problems? How would you feel?
Help!
Jericho. Now, if there's a problem, you blow this whistle and I'll come and save you.
I'll come and save you, real man. Actually, if you listen really close, the whistle goes, when he blows the whistle, it goes,
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, basically. And he gets his period right after. But yeah, he's blowing the whistle for the cops to show up because he's definitely not stepping to this crazy ass Chinese dude that just fucks up 3 Japanese dudes. He beats him so savagely. That's the thing. Like, it's no contest. These guys have no chance. They're way overmatched, and Bruce Lee just fucks these dudes up badly, real bad, right in front of the girls. So you know they didn't get none. And you can see to the right in that blue right there, those are the Chinese students that are standing there watching all this happen.
Captain Haruno comes in. "Sorry I'm late on my new game, Stellar Blade playthrough." For those of you wondering, Stellar Blade is a sci-fi game about butts, apparently. It's all over the news. And Captain Haruno is admitting that he would rather go do this. His anime girlfriend. He's hanging out with his anime girlfriend instead of us. So, Stellar Blade.
He likes big butts, and he cannot lie, man.
I'm glad he didn't lie. I hope you had a great time playing with your little anime girlfriend, though. It's cool. Awesome. All right, here we go. Moving on. Then we get back to the school. This is back at Bruce Lee's school.
Mhm.
And it's going down. Right?
Yeah, they're all practicing and shit. Getting their practicing pretty much full speed, and then all the Japanese dudes from the school that he just fucked up, they all come to his school looking for him.
There's the master with the glasses and the dark cloak.
Yeah.
And the dark outfit. That's the master that Bruce Lee beat up.
So he's back for revenge.
The paper eating enthusiast right here.
Yeah, they got high fiber in their diet today. And this guy right here to the right, he is Bruce Lee's cousin in The Big Boss. And he ends up getting killed. That's part of what sets Bruce Lee off on his path to revenge. But yeah, and the teacher, the Japanese teacher who got beat up so easily, he may not be able to beat up Bruce Lee, but he can beat the shit out of these dudes. And they all do. And this teacher, he's walking through the crowd trying to get people to stop. No, stop, no. And so these Japanese guys are coming up to him, and he's just dispatching them real quick, real easy.
And then guess who's back? The little toady trader guy.
Little bitch ass translator.
Oh.
And he's telling him, you bring us Chen Jin, I think it was named Chen Zin. He's like, you bring us to him, or bring him to us, and we won't have any more problems. But if you don't, we'll be back, and it'll be even worse.
So now the guy that stepped into the leadership role, he's like admonishing Bruce Lee here for like, look what you're doing.
Yeah.
You go over there unauthorized, you beat the shit out of everyone, and now trouble's coming to their doorstep.
Yeah. And he feels real bad. You know, he knows what he did was wrong. He let his emotions get the best of him. So that guy,
I like those friends just beat the shit because of
well, he gets on. They were destroying everything, and they were tearing down the shrine that they had to the teacher, and they were going to break the picture. That's a picture of his teacher that he's holding. And so he lays on top of it, and the dudes just stomp the shit out of him because he's blocking him from messing up the picture. So that's why he's all beat the shit.
Right. Captain Haruna wants to know if Japan Man is around. He was supposed to be here earlier. He is running late. Jericho, have you seen him?
Yeah, he's here. He's been here the whole time. He's just been taking shit.
Oh, he texts me, I'm on my way. You know how people do that when they're lying, like,
Yeah.
on my way.
Oh, 15 minutes away, and they're still getting dressed.
Right. So, Japan Man, welcome in.
Okay. Thank you.
So, I've heard that, you were born over there in Japan, but you moved here when you were young. But I've heard that some of your grandparents may have been involved in some of this, I'll be as charitable as I can, unfair treatment of the Chinese citizens at the hands of like people like your grandparents. Do you feel like it was justified? Do you feel shame? Or are you like, hey, that has nothing to do with me? How do you feel when you look back historically about this?
No, I think the Chinese people are disgusting.
Now, wait a minute. Come on. We can't have bigotry like that on here. What would make you say something so terrible?
I mean, if you look at it, they're so Chinese.
Is it because they don't like McDonald's the way you do? Is that what bothers you?
Are you trying to piss me off?
No, I'm just asking questions here.
I was born in the basement of the first McDonald's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Why were you born in the basement? I didn't even know they had basements out in California in most places.
Because the world could not know my birth. I was too important, like John Connor.
Oh, you were too important, like John Connor. Wait a minute. Are you saying that the legend, because I thought it was like a drunken rant, the legend that the Burger King wanted to come back into the past and kill your mother before she gave birth to you at that first McDonald's, that's actually true?
Yeah.
How was that able to be prevented, though, with the time travel? You were just a baby. How could you defend yourself against the Burger King?
Because of the size of my cock.
I feel like I know enough about this.
Okay.
Okay, so is there anything you need to promote before we get you out of here?
Just a McDonald's.
What is your favorite? What's your go-to, man? Oh, you know what? No. I got to confront you. McDonald's. It's fine. It's an American institution. It works in a pinch.
What?
Why is it so expensive? This is supposed to be. You take a family of four to McDonald's like $50 now. Explain yourself.
I don't care. I pay whatever to get up out here.
Right, but a family of
McDonald's.
four in Biden's economy, they're trying to make ends meet. Big Mac, 2 Happy Meals, wife gets a chicken sandwich, everybody gets fries and drink. $50, $55. What are people supposed to do?
It's none of my fault that you erect the sloppy Joe in the White House, sir. In California, it's a much more because of a Gavin Newsom, the cocksucker.
Do you think that the workers at McDonald's, which you love, should get the $20 an hour?
It's not that hard. But what they do, they're going to cause the robots to serve you McDonald's.
Do you think that the McDonald's food would be improved or worse or the same when robots make it for you?
I think it would be a better robot not to speed in your quarter pounder.
So when you go into a McDonald's and a robot hands you that Big Mac fries and a Coke, are you going to say, Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto?
Yeah, I see what you did there. I say, thank you. I make a shrine on ground and I eat my McDonald's on my knees on the floor.
Do you think the prices will come back down if Trump is reelected?
Of course, everything is better with the orange man back in the White House.
All right. Well, if there's any advice out there for anyone that really wants to get to McDonald's, but they just don't have enough money, what would you? Last question. What would you tell someone? They just don't have enough money.
I say sell your genitals.
Okay. All right, guys. Japan man.
Okay.
Oof. I think he's
Dude, I don't know who's dirtier, him or Barney. I guess we'll find out tonight, huh?
Yeah, we'll find out later.
Oof.
Goodness. Anyway, so he has caused his own school, his own friends to get their butts kicked by the Japanese school.
Mm-hmm.
They're very sore with him. But to his credit, he is very sorry about this.
Yeah, he feels very bad. That's not what he wanted to happen, but it happened. So basically, they tell him, "You got to go, bro. You can't be staying here. So you need to get your shit together and roll out." But of course, it's Boo. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna help you, and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? I'll help you however I can. I'll find you, give you a little something. When I find you, but I'll always be here for you. I love you." And so they have this conversation in the fucking common area, living room, whatever. And then so she goes, no, actually, I don't think they kicked him out yet, but they basically told him, you're in big fucking trouble. So she leaves the room and he hears some people talking. He hears people whispering in the kitchen. So he goes and listens at the door, and you hear, and this is one of the best parts and one of the weirdest / funniest parts of the whole movie. So he hears these guys talking, and he hears one of them say, the guy on the left, he's scared. He's like, they're going to find out that we poisoned him. He's like, they won't find out. You put the poison in his biscuits, didn't you? Because the teacher has tea and biscuits every morning. So they poisoned his biscuits, and not like, the good old American biscuit, but, like British people with their biscuits that aren't biscuits. But anyway, they poisoned his biscuits, and that's how the teacher died. So Bruce Lee is vindicated because I knew he didn't die for no damn sickness. I knew there was some foul play. And so he finds out these two guys and the guy on the right is Japanese. And the way that Bruce Lee knows this, and the cameraman decided, the people really need to understand that this guy's Japanese. I guess Japanese people have brown nipples or something, because the camera zooms in on that dude's nipples. So I guess that's a telltale sign that you're with the Japanese person.
Is that how you tell people's racially apart, the color of their nipples?
So Bruce Lee is a nipple expert,
but there are many races, ethnicities. They're going to have the same colored nipples.
Is it going to be the same brown though?
But I feel like maybe go to Europe. Do you really think a French, a German, Italian, a Swedish, it could be different shade of pink?
For sure, but we're talking Japanese.
Italian, maybe a little
Chinese
swarthy,
people.
A little darker.
Hey, basically, what we're trying to say is go to Italy, people. Start tugging down tops and comparing them.
It could be worse. They could be comparing colors of.
They could be comparing helmets.
Yeah, they could be comparing all kinds.
Yanks his pants down. Japanese. But he finds out this guy's Japanese, and the guy on the left, he's like, hey, don't say anything.
Oh, he have a purple nipple.
So the guy on the left is like, hey, no, what are you doing? Don't say anything. He's like, I'm not scared of this young fool. They say he's the best, but I'm not scared of him. So he decided to square off with Bruce Lee. He's already shown the ability to have a short fuse and fly off the handle no matter what you tell him. So now he finds out you poisoned his teacher. So this fool squares off. He takes a couple swings at Bruce Lee, don't even touch him. And then one of the coolest parts, it goes in slow motion, and he just punches this dude one time in his heart. And the way he screams, it's like, yeah, boom. But it's like a scream, like a yell. Like you could hear like the anger and the pain in his voice when he did it. It's hard to explain, but you guys, if you can see the movie and go to this part, yeah, boom, it punches this dude in his fucking heart, but it's all in slow motion. So the guy like starts wiggling, like, you know, feeling the reverb from the punches through his body, and then he just falls down the ground dead on his side, and his eyes are still open, and then blood just comes out of his mouth. That shit, it was cold ass part.
Did he make his heart explode by punching him in his dark nipples?
I think so. If his nipples were lighter, they probably would have stopped it.
This is my special nipple destroyer.
Yeah, he goes, Japanese people are real weak behind the nipple, and he just fucking boom, hits him in his heart, kills him. He's dead on the floor. So the other guy, the little weenie, like, hey, no, don't say anything.
We have an interruption.
She's not in the movie.
Breaking news. Captain Haruno. I was already heroic with my milk story about almost throwing up during an interview on the phone to help my friend land a thing he was after. He says, no, wrong comment here. Is Sydney Sweeney foreign? He'll have to check. You let us know how that goes, Captain Haruno.
Yeah. Expect some jail time, but let us know what you find out.
Yeah. So he's going to figure it out. I feel like I have a good idea.
No, Gabe, put that picture back up for a second. I'm calling you to the carpet.
Calling me to the carpet? Okay.
Yep.
Call me to the carpet.
Putting you to task. So you're a member of the James Bond argument we had. What was the name?
Where you and Sean were on drugs about Famke Jensen versus someone no one even remembers. Yes.
So you're telling me that she would be better if she were a brunette. Is that what you're telling me?
No, people are the way they are. I'm telling you,
you say it's boring. You said that's boring. Blondes are boring.
I'm telling you, a young Famke Jensen blows this chick out.
A young Famke Jensen can't even look this woman in the face. She's not good enough. She's not
so much.
Are you kidding me?
Look at her eyes, the Jensen. Look at her mouth. She looks like sex personified. The other one is beautiful.
Which one's better? I'm going with the one on the right, easily.
They're both beautiful.
Famke Jensen's cool. She's cool, but no.
Nah, dog. That's a nah for me. No.
The one on the right is you'd have a Forrest Gump situation with that. Remember Forrest Gump where Jenny let him touch her titty and he's like,
Jenny.
Yeah. You touch it. Sorry, I need a cigarette. Don't touch me.
Yeah, but I win this argument every time, dude. I
no,
just
you
win
don't.
It. I do. I win this argument every time, and I'm gonna just. No, I didn't want to have to do this. I didn't want to have to do this.
No, you do not. Do whatever you want.
But, and these are highlights. Her hair color is brown. Mm-hmm. There's no one prettier besides my wife than a young Cindy Crawford, and she's a brunette. So
that
I
might
win.
Be true. You might win that one, yeah. But Famke Jensen, no. Cindy Crawford, yeah, she goes across all lines.
Sorry, dude. And they're both, 9.9 out of 10, whatever. But Cindy gets the edge. I'm sorry.
Yeah, young Cindy. I would even say a young Sandra Bullock, too.
Don't like Sandra Bullock. She's so masculine, dude.
95, though? Sandra Bullock's speed? 94, I think?
I'll say this. It's a Mexican saying about Sandra Bullock. The bone is for the dog. The meat is for the man. That's my opinion on Sandra Bullock.
No, you look at Sandra Bullock, Demolition Man. Come on.
No. Sandra Bullock isn't even, to me, she's not even pretty. Wow. She's not. I don't think she's pretty at all. I don't think she's ugly.
That's at the least an outlandish statement.
I think
at the least.
I think she's a plain Jane.
No, that's Sandra Bullock like yesterday. I'm talking Sandra Bullock, Demolition Man.
I'll go young. I'll find her young.
Yeah, you have to. because an old Cindy Crawford doesn't look better than that Jodie
Let's
or
see.
Sweeney
I
girl or
wrote
whatever.
Sandra Bullock
Sydney Sweeney?
95. Okay. There's a very young Sandra Bullock.
No,
Her
you're
hair's
not going to give
done.
me no snapshot from the movie set. I want like a Sandra Bullock red carpet.
Here's one posed, hair done. She's just, you know.
No, that'll work. You ain't getting kicked out of the bed.
It's like
crackers,
that one from Saved by the Bell that everyone likes.
But Tiffany Amber Thiessen?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was cool, but now she's not in their league. No way.
That's how I feel about like Sandra Bullock. Like, you know.
But I'll put a young Halle Berry up against Cindy Crawford. I'm not saying she'll win, but
Scarlett Johansson, not a fan.
Yeah, she's not. I don't like her.
You know.
Her bottom row teeth. I don't piss me off.
Like, Well, I know you're like very concerned with women's feet, though, which makes me very suspicious.
If Cindy Crawford has busted looking feet, Miss Crawford, I respect you for all of the good times you've given our eyeballs and what you were in the 90s and the icon that you are. But I'm going to need you to find the exit. Get out of here. And I'm actually kind of pissed because you are such a beautiful woman and your feet look like you played barefoot medicine ball. No thank you.
I don't know. See, look at Melodic Method. Tiffany Amber Thiessen is beautiful. Fight me. I'm not saying
she's cool. She's cool.
She's just not my type at all.
You know, she's cool.
No.
If she was like, hey, if this was a alternate dimension and I were a single man, she's like, hey, you can put a finger in my butt.
But again, it's like, let's see. Oh, I got one. I got another brunette that just destroys you.
Another brunette?
Another brunette. Here you go, lad. Where is it? Let me get a bigger one. Yeah. Okay. Get your blonde shit out of here. Get it out of here.
I'll see your Kelly LeBrock Weird Science, and I'll raise you a Pamela Anderson.
No, Pamela Anderson is whatever.
She's tripping. Baywatch.
She's like Scarlett Johansson. Just
she's way hotter than Scarlett Johansson.
Here's the queen of this. The squinty-eyed one from Friends, the main girl on Friends with the haircut.
Oh, Jennifer Aniston?
Yes. Mm-hmm. What do people see in her?
She's a pretty woman.
Yeah.
She's cool. But Pamela Anderson, come on, man.
Kathy
Even
Bates,
though she's from Canada.
None the miser has.
That's a niche one right there.
Yes, we're fine. You know what though?
Hey, there you go.
She'll keep you warm at night. B, I bet you she can cook.
Yeah, but if you try to leave her, she will smash your ankles.
She will smash your ankles. That is certain.
You know what? Throw a young for the brunettes, a young Sally Field.
No, what this is nonsense.
Sally Field was cool. We just watched Smokey and the Bandit a couple weeks ago too. No, Sally Field, she's cool.
No, I don't like the cheeks, those big old cheeks like that. No.
Like a 70s Sally Field. Yeah, there you go.
I like them looking exotic.
Or a young Dolly Parton. She's beautiful.
No.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Nah, man. No. I like them. Okay, this is like in the same Famke Janssen thing. Raquel Welch. It's the same kind of thing. Very exotic.
Then you got to throw Marilyn Monroe in there if we're going back that far.
Again, she's like Pam Anderson. Like, whatever. You know. Just whatever. We've had this discussion.
No, this is not a discussion.
Marilyn Monroe, she can't touch Sophia Loren. Like, are you kidding me? Like that is beauty.
She is a beautiful woman. I'm not saying there are no beautiful brunettes. Obviously, she's gorgeous. But to say blondes are boring, I don't know about that.
It's a little boring. It's a little boring to me. Mm-hmm. You know, it's all relative, though.
She'll leave scratches in your back.
This is like the guy on the bench in the NBA. He's still one of the greatest athletes to ever live. He's just not Michael Jordan. He's just a backup. That's where I put Pamela Anderson.
You're calling blonde women Tito and Jermaine?
Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. Just the ones that you bring up.
Not all of them. Just your choices. Dude, I'm standing by a young Dolly Parton. Pull her up. A young Dolly?
No.
Dude, you're tripping. She was beautiful.
I like that crazy hair that she has.
You mean
I don't know.
curls?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's the style at the time, right? It's not her fault.
Come on, a young Dolly.
Doesn't
Can we
work
get it a
for me.
little larger than that?
Face is too wide.
No, not that one. Go back to the other one. The other one was a perfect. That was a perfect.
Hold on, let me pull it back over. You have to be real careful because you never know what's going to come up in image search. You know, you got to be
Yeah, especially Dolly Parton.
right.
Got to be careful.
Well, see, her face is very
Bam,
round.
right there, right
Her
there.
face- right. But to
Dolly
me,
P was bad back in the day.
But to me, the difference to me is the angularity. I like the angularity of a Famke Jensen because it's exotic. You know, I don't know. I
But you have
like
that
that.
artist. You're looking at it through the prism of being an artist.
Like to me, that's like just so much more aesthetically pleasing to me. Here, it's very round. It's very pretty, very beautiful eyes. The big eyes are a plus.
But
This
I think
one-
you have the burden of knowledge. You're looking at it from a not only appreciating it as a man, but from almost, I would say, a scientific, a mathematical angle, like the shape of someone's face, lighting, and all that kind of stuff. I'm just looking at it through the prism of my. She's cool.
I don't know. It just, I don't know. It's just that's how it works for me. You know,
I don't know.
So
She seems like she has big, ugly feet.
you know who I think was the prettiest actress of all time, and she's a blonde.
Thank you, Johnny. Season 1, Tool Time. Thank
No.
you.
You want
Thank you
a
very
blonde?
much.
You want a blonde? That's
I'm
the
just
prettiest?
defending the blonde since you're taking the brunette.
Oh no! The prettiest actress ever is a blonde, and she just looks like the most beautiful, delicate, feminine thing. Grace Kelly, insane beauty. And this is the difference between sexy and beautiful. This is like glowing with light and floating in the
classy.
air, made
Classic.
of porcelain. Like this is beyond just beautiful. You know.
I would also say Peggy Lipton.
I don't know. I have to look that one up. Yeah, I
Peggy
think Grace
Lipton
Kelly
is
is
gorgeous.
just
She's back in the 60s, 70s, but she was, I think more maybe
Peggy
50s,
Lipton.
60s. But Peggy Lipton was gorgeous. You know, Rashida Jones, actress from Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
That's her mom.
Oh, I see it in the nose and the lips.
Her dad's a Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones, right.
Probably the greatest producer ever.
Yeah, one of the most talented dudes ever. I think that's him there in the afro and glasses.
Yeah, you talk about taking a chance to be an interracial couple in 1962. Woo.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, her
Rashida Jones is beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, she's got that exotic look. I like what Michael Scott tells her on The Office, her first day there. So, wow, you're exotic. Was your father a sailor?
Go straight to HR, sir.
Okay, Gabe and Jericho Green, both of y'all wrong. Michelle Rodriguez for the win.
Get the
You got to be joking, dude.
You're kidding, Michael.
This guy. It's like you just told me Burger King's your favorite food.
Michael, we appreciate your viewership and your comments in the comment section. You're one of our favorites. But that is the craziest shit I've heard all day long. Michelle Rodriguez can fucking maybe take the women we name, take their dirty laundry to the laundromat and bring them something to drink. That's what she can do, because Michelle Rodriguez is nowhere near.
Yeah.
Nowhere near. She's too manly.
Not my type. I don't want to be mean.
Ugh, she's too manly.
Not my type. I'll just leave it at that. Not my type.
Mm-mm.
You know who gets a lot of run that I don't think is super hot either? Another one that's like Pam Anderson to me that I don't get it is that Olivia Munn. Oh my God. So many nerds I know just wouldn't shut up about her.
Is she that dark-haired chick from like MTV or whatever?
Yeah,
like
she was on that video game.
Oh,
show.
yeah, I can't stand her.
I don't think she's ugly or nothing, but like I heard people talk about her like she's the most beautiful woman to ever live, and trying to be fair and find a decent picture.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. Just the way some people go crazy. I don't know. You know. I don't know.
I can see her delivering DoorDash or something.
My brother thinks she's just like the most beautiful woman ever.
She's so gorgeous.
But she was on that nerdy video game channel where all they discussed was video games.
Oh, G4?
And he's way into video games. So I think it's like the wires are crossing.
He might be a little bit biased there.
Jessica Alba, you know.
She's cool.
None of my says, I'll take Michelle Rodriguez in the 4th round by a TKO.
Exactly. She'll be getting an interview with Joe Rogan at the end. She might have like a puffy eye or something. That's about it.
Julie Newmar. Oy vey. Yeah.
Definitely know the name. I'm trying to picture her face.
She was Catwoman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, another classic.
The cat to the bat.
Yeah, we'll take that.
It's a bit all right.
Newmar.
Yeah. Who was the one? She was a singer, redhead. She sung Mac the Knife back in the 60s.
Mac the Knife? That's a deep cut.
I mean, it wasn't originally her song.
I was thinking
because that was Bobby
Raitt
Darin.
Bonnie Raitt's not exactly gorgeous.
What the hell was her name? Very famous. I can't believe I can't remember her name.
Redhead?
She's a redhead, real pretty. I forgot her name. And I'm not into redheads. Some guys are like into redheads. Then you get that whole weird legend that, oh, redheads are like crazy and fiery temper.
Hey, red in the head, fire in the bed, brother.
Kate Winslet comes in and mops the floor. Oh, no.
Kate Winslet from the Titanic?
Shirley Bassey? Who's Shirley Bassey?
Man, you guys are cutting way deep. They're like, oh, my 3rd grade teacher. Oh, Lord.
Shirley Bassey. I've never seen this lady before. Maybe I have. I don't know. Let's see. Nah, not my type. You know, I'm trying to find her young. Not my type. Not my type. Sorry. Sorry, Shirley Bassey. You're right.
Well, then you got to throw a young Halle Berry up there.
My wife may or may not have been jealous of Halle Berry and me in the past. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Probably the same issue here.
That's a pretty lady. The only thing I don't like is she always has short hair, and I prefer long hair.
Like a young Halle Berry, like 90s.
I'm looking. Yeah, I know.
Like gorge.
Oh, here's one. Look at. I mean, it's a bad wig, but I don't blame the wig. I don't care. But the smile.
Yeah.
You know, the smile's insanely pretty. So. But I don't care about the wig. She's rich. She can buy all kinds of wigs. And that must have been for TV or a movie or something weird.
Yeah, she did this movie called Baps where she wore a blonde wig.
Right. Maybe that's it. Yeah, she was it's a looker. For sure. Where is she now?
The one in the middle. There you go.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah. Shadow of Humanity. I have a question. What is your favorite comic book under DC before they lost their mind? I'm a big Batman fan. I think the best Batman thing ever created is the 1993 or 4 cartoon. And I worked on a miniseries from the same writer that is based on the Batman Arkham City video games. I worked on a miniseries, Batman Arkham Asylum. Batman Arkham City was the comic book I worked on. And that was one of my favorite things that I ever worked on. It was one of my favorite books. I like a lot of the stuff in the Bat universe because I like crime. I really love crime. I love crime novels. I've listened to like 6 or 8 audiobooks of crime novels like in the last week and a half. I love crime, so I think I like the Batman stuff the best. You know.
Let me ask you this, Gabe. Since you're a crime guy.
That's right.
Are you the type of crime enthusiast? Not in real life. Gabe is not
a crime enthusiast.
Crimes. But do you like the TV shows? First 48, Forensic Files, things of that nature?
No, I don't like any true life crime. And this is going to sound funny, but it makes sense to me. I think it's disrespectful. I think it's disrespectful to make a spectacle, sell commercials, and make money off of real people who were killed and murdered. I don't like that. It feels wrong to me. It feels like staring at a dead body on the side of the road. So I never watch that stuff. I like fake crime that's made up in a novel. It's well written and fun. I don't want, like, that's somebody's uncle and he's really dead. I don't want to watch it as entertainment. That feels wrong to me. So I know it's not a fun answer, but I don't like it.
I get that. I definitely get that.
It feels very like when, you're on Twitter, you're on whatever, and someone will post like a death video or whatever. I always like close my phone or like, why are you posting this shit? A, it's disturbing to look at that. B, it's so disrespectful to the dead. They have a family. Like, what are you doing? So I don't like that. Thoughts on the death of Superman from 1992? One of the highest selling comic books of all time. Dan Jurgens illustrated that. It's a gimmick. I mean, what else can you say? He died and came right back, and it sold a bajillion copies. And what they would do, Jericho, in the night, you remember there was a housing boom, there's stock market booms, there's a tech boom. Mm-hmm. You may or may not know this, Jericho. There was a comic book boom, and it was from about 1990 to 94, 5. And then, like all booms, there was a crash. Companies went out of business. All kinds of people lost their jobs. Comic book stores everywhere went out of business and shut down. But the comic book boom was filled with gimmicks, and they would bag a comic. Like it would come from Marvel or DC in a plastic bag that you couldn't open unless you ripped it. But in the bag would be a trading card. But it'd be a series of 1 of 8 different cards, encouraging you to then buy a bunch of copies of the book. You know, because you didn't want to open it and then it's not mint condition and all that stuff that the nerds talk about at the convention, you know.
Of course.
And yeah, it was quite a time and that's when I got into comics. I got in because of the boom, because they were so popular.
But
So
why kill Superman?
Because it would get news. It got national news like USA Today and CNN, and it got sales because it's a big deal thing that happened, you know. And Doomsday, the villain, kills him, and then, you know, he ends up coming back like a year later in the comics. But that's where we got the new Superboy. That's where we got Steel, you know, the Shaquille O'Neal character.
Ooh,
We got him from that because after Superman died, there were all these replacement Supermen that stepped in the comics.
I remember that. My brother was heavy into comics, but I remember that. I remember those issues, you know, the different issues of comics he got. I remember the death of Superman, the cover of it. I never liked that. I never liked the idea of killing Superman, because you can still come up with countless storylines because there's always somebody doing something bad somewhere. He has arch enemies and shit like that. But I never understood, why would you kill Superman?
It's a sales gimmick. That's literally all it is.
That was terrible.
So, Mark's Music Obsession, member for a year. Gabe, did you like the Gotham series? I never watched it. I don't like comic books mostly coming out of comics. Would I turn my comics into movies and TV? Of course. I love money, and I think it could be good if I had creative control of a lot of it. But I don't like what the Marvel movies and all that did to the comic book industry. I don't like that. I don't like what I worked in it before that happened, and I watched it happen while I worked at DC Comics. They closed the office here in San Diego. There was an office here for 20 years. It was Jim Lee's studio, and then he sold it to DC Comics, and then it was DC Comics for years. And then they moved everything to Burbank in 2010 and 2011. And that's when all those Green Arrow, Flash, all those TV shows started and all those movies, because they were trying to catch up to Marvel, who had success since 2008's Iron Man. And they started focusing on Hollywood and turning every last damn streaming show and movie into a comic book. And overall, it's been a huge net negative for the art form. Comic books are a beautiful, original American art form. They are my passion. I love to do it. I love to draw. I love to write, and I'm very good at both. And I thank God for that. I'm humbled that I have those gifts, and it's such a beautiful art form. And I don't think it translates into movies and TV in any way that does it justice. And I'll explain why. The main thing about a comic book, if a comic book is anything, if you take the drawings out of a comic book, Jericho, what is it?
Yeah. Oh, if you take the drawing away?
No drawings, but you still have the story. What is that called?
A book.
A book. So the very thing that makes a comic book a comic is the art of illustration. It needs a good story, sure. But without the illustrations, it's not a comic book. Well, movies are not illustrations, right? They're movies. They're actors, they're CGI bullshit, whatever. And they're not comics. And they have to, make it like Taco Bell mild sauce, right? They have to make it very normie shit for like the masses. And it dilutes it down. And it was better when comics were more of a niche thing for the people that were really into it and really would just geek out over drawings. Because where comics come from, for most of us that draw them and all that, is just a love of drawing. I just love to draw. That's when I'm my happiest creatively. And I love to write too. I'm also very happy when I write. But it's just a love of illustration. I can sit there. There's a company called IDW. They're a comic book publisher. And they go around and they find the masters, the legendary Batman and Superman artists from the 60s and the 50s and going back. And they find the original owners of the artwork that's out there in people's homes and galleries or whatever. And they do the highest resolution copies. I have these in my house. I should bring it on and show you guys. I have a bunch of them. And they'll make giant tomes that are like 2 feet tall of life-size comic book pages. And when you open it, it's printed on real thick drawing paper and it's photographed. So you get the thumbprints, the coffee stains, the whiteout, all the mistakes are there. The notes from the editor, move this here, recolor this. And it's like you own original art. And I can just pour over those things for hours because I just love to draw and I love to look at drawings. So to me, movies and TV, they're not comic books. They're not even close. You know, it's so to me, I don't like it. It's like a cheap version to me. It's like a fake version of it. So, and that, you know, you're not going to get that answer from most people because most people don't do what I do for a living. But that's how I see it. It's like, those aren't comics. You know, and I just think it's a cheaper art form than movies and TV. Movies and TV are excellent in their own way as their own thing. But I think when you take the drawings out of a comic, it's like taking the meat out of a hamburger. You took the main thing that made it a comic. You took it away. I don't know. So,
and even with the art, you know, like you said, without the pictures, it's a book. But with the advent of those, with the addition of the drawings, it kind of gives somebody or something to focus their imagination on, because that's still there. You're going to imagine the character doing this and doing that, but it kind of puts a face to what you were imagining, you know, without the pictures.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I think comic books are the if a movie and a book had a baby, it's a comic book. Because you have the visual like a movie, but you have the written word and the narrative like a novel. And the thing about a comic book is obviously the pictures don't move. And when you read a comic book, for those of you that have read them, go to bigmancomics.com and get Dean Cain All-American Lawman right now. When you read a comic book, you don't notice the drawings don't move. They move in your imagination. They really do. You know, it's like it's a drawing of a punch, but you don't see it as static in your head. You see it as moving. It's the weirdest. It's a beautiful thing. So there you go. Let's see. Kara has a problem. She has the ideas on what she'd want in a comic. She just can't execute it because she can't draw to save her life. Well,
you don't have to.
That you can practice drawing for the next 8 to 10 years, and then your problem will be solved.
Man. Or you can cut out the middleman in the 8 to 10 years, and booyakasha.
There you go.
Already done for you. Already done. Bam.
Yep.
Did it for you, and it's great.
Yeah, and the stuff we have coming, like that thing I sent you this morning, Jericho, that might be the best thing I've ever drawn thus far.
Looks great, man. It really does. I like the colors and, you know, everything else that I won't mention that goes into it, but yeah, it's great.
I thank God I know how to do it all, because most comic book creators are a specialist. They're a very good writer, and that's it. Or they're good at the word balloons and the letters, and that's it. Or the color, or the pencil, or the ink, and that's it. I literally know how to do all of it from beginning to end, and work with the printers and all that, because there's the color on the computer, but how does that translate to actual ink on paper? You have to have a mastery of that, and I understand that. So I'm really, really happy that I know how to do it all from stem to stern, you know.
From the rooter to the tutor, man.
That's right. Speaking of rooter to tutor, we'll get back. But it's time to address something that disturbed me that I saw yesterday.
More tutor than rooter, huh?
So I saw this, and, you know, people on Twitter were laughing everyone was having a real big laugh. But this isn't funny, guys, because what a lot of people don't know is that this is real. That our friend Barney, he's coming in a second. Is he there yet, Jericho? Is he coming out of the bathroom?
Yeah, he's pacing.
He texts me from the bathroom. I told him just to talk to you. He's there with you in your house. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing in the bathroom, you know? He comes out here sniffing, I'm going to be irate because he told me he quit. Yeah. But a lot of people were joking about this, like, oh, he was in some parade. Why does it look like Barney's about to be whacked? And, you know, but oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Barney.
Well, before Barney says anything, if you'll let me, Barney.
Of course.
In that picture, obviously, he's going through a tough time.
Yeah.
He's not the vibrant, you know, hey, kids, you know, kind of Barney that we know. His face looks a little disfigured. The coloring's off. I think he was really going through. There was a lot of snow on the mountains. There was a lot of snow on the mountains. You can see he's sitting in the back of a Pontiac. That's not where he wanted to be. And I just wanted to say that, kind of, you know, set the stage a little bit better context. You know, it's not the vibrant, dare I say, wild Barney that we know today. It was a downtime.
Hey, Barney, how you doing, man? You all right?
Doing great, fellas.
So, you know, I had seen this picture. I'd never asked you about it. I had heard about it for years before I saw it. And we remember the show was a hit. Then you opened that vegetarian restaurant, and then that failed, and your workout videos didn't do good. And then you ran for public office down in Alabama because you were living there for a while when you got separated from your third wife. And you know, it was a low time for you, and I wasn't there enough for you. So I just want to publicly apologize to you, you know, because I claim to be your friend, and I wasn't around, and I should have been helping out more in this time. And you know, you were running for city council there in Alabama, and things got bad, and it was pre really everyone using the internet. You know, it was mid late '90s, but not everyone was online yet. And you just want to tell us what happened that day, you know, with the corruption, and then someone made an attempt on your life, man.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for listing all of my failures.
Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I was trying to be sympathetic. You know, I was just
Yeah,
sorry.
okay. Anyway, that was in Mobile, Alabama in 1993. It was crazy. And yes, it's a bit, book depository, Dallas, kind of feel to the picture, but nobody tried to take my life that day. Nobody's that crazy. Because if they did anything to me, that child standing in front of me would have been killed.
You know, you had big dreams for that city council there. And what was the city again? What you said, Mobile, right?
Mobile, Alabama.
What
Home
was
of
it?
the bullfrog.
Right. What was it about the nature of the civic life in Mobile that you wanted to change? What bothered you? What was the moment that you said to yourself, you know, your Mr. Smith goes to Washington moment? What made you want to run for public office?
Well, I've always liked to help people. I do my TV show. I sing along with the children. I teach them colors, how to be nice to each other, and solve conflicts without violence. But that
Right.
wasn't what it was like in Mobile, Alabama. There was violence and drugs and whores.
And what was the straw that broke the brontosaurus's back? I'm sorry.
I saw this prostitute in an alley, and she was smoking crack and shooting up heroin at the same time.
Wow. And
And
that was enough?
I didn't get a cut of the proceeds. So I decided to be part of the city council and get the money for myself.
Oh, how were you as a city council member in Mobile? How were you going to cash in on drug money?
Well, it's called extortion, kids. The
Oh,
word for the day is extortion. I come by, I give you a price. If you don't meet it, well, people get hurt.
now this is another topic, but you know, we're open here. We're honest on Double Impact. You look different now. You look younger. This is 31 years ago. Now, people say you've had work done. I told them I never heard anything about that, but looking at this photo of you and looking at you now, you do look a lot better. Is it exercise, diet, or are the rumors true? Have you been to those Turkish plastic surgeons, or what's going on, man? Because you look very different, and your fans, they're worried about you. They have a lot of questions.
Well, if we're being completely honest, the only difference is two things. Now I'm eating meat and I've taken a lot of trips to Brazil.
Oh, okay. What's in do I want to know what's in Brazil, or
You know what's in Brazil.
there's a lot of stuff in Brazil.
There's beautiful women, there's lots of plastic surgery and cocaine and whores.
Okay. Well, Captain Haruno says Barney ran on Free Hookers and Blow for Me platform, but people found out about the For Me part. Now that was a mistake that your assistant, right? That he put the For Me out there, but you would put it in quotes and told him not to publish that. What happened to it was Lenny Schofield. He was your assistant. I remember that because he still owes me money. What happened when he screwed that up?
Well, I'll put it to you this way, guys. It was a fatal misprint.
Jeez. No wonder I haven't heard from Lenny. I guess I'm not going to get my money anytime soon.
I don't think so, unless you have a shovel.
All right. Well, Barney, I'll close it up with this. If you had won the city council seat there in Mobile. Oh, and good night, Melodic Method. Good night, buddy. Thanks for coming in.
Good night, fucker.
If you had won that city council, would you think you would have gone on? Would you run for state Congress? Would you run for governor? Perhaps the White House? The first dinosaur American president?
Of course, Obama did it, right? I'd be the first reptile American president. That was my goal. But
Wow.
sometimes life has other plans, and it sneaks up behind you and kicks you in your balls.
Now let's just do a little, use our imaginations. If you were currently the president of the United States of America, let's say it had all worked out and you just won in 2020, you defeated Trump in a landslide. Would you change anything? Do you think Biden's doing good, or would you change some foreign policy, economic policy? What are your the planks of your platform?
Well, first thing I would change is Biden's diaper.
Oh.
But the country would be doing great. We wouldn't be hemorrhaging billions of dollars to places we can't even find on the map. We have enough problems here, and we have lots of money and oil that could solve them all. So I would do common sense.
Oh, wow. That's what I like about you. Tough, but fair. Last thing. I know I said the last thing, but do you have any regrets about this time in your life? The early 90s, the politics, the failed businesses, the multiple marriages, the drug addiction. If you go back and change it, would you change it, or would you do it all the same?
Well, again, thank you for listing my failures.
No problem.
But I don't regret any of it. Those were good times. I was looking bad, but I was partying hard. And don't forget the TV show and all the fun I had in Hollywood. So no, if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be the big cock dinosaur you see before you right now.
Oh, man, a lot of wisdom there, a lot of wisdom. All right, Barney the dinosaur, I'm glad that no one tried to take your life. I don't know what we'd do without you, man.
Let's hope we never have to find out, fucker.
Good night. Barney the dinosaur, everyone. The great Barney. Goodness. What do you think, Jerry? I mean, that was riveting. I wasn't expecting some of those answers.
He keeps it real.
Keeps it 100. That's what I like about him.
Yeah, if you're not prepared for the answer, don't ask the question when it comes to Barney.
Right.
Purple dinosaur.
I don't think I do like gotcha questions to him. You know, I thought he was a little prickly about his past failures. I mean, it's common knowledge, right? That stuff.
But you never know like what he's going to say or how he might take things. Because I think when he said, thanks for, listing my failures, I think that was kind of a way of him saying, I was fucked up.
Anyways, moving on. Bruce Lee has found out his own buddies poisoned the master, but the one guy was a Japanese because he had dark nipples. Is what
he had the wrong colored nipples, man.
That's wild that they put this in this movie.
Dude, and the camera zoomed in on it. Like it wasn't an accident. It wasn't like, oh, Bruce improvised. The camera zoomed in on the dude's nipple. So that was just the first guy. There's two guys there. So the second guy, the guy that was on the left, the guy who delivered the poison biscuits. Yeah, that guy. Well, the guy who delivered the poison biscuits to the teacher, he tries to run because he's been kind of, no, please. He's been kind of a wuss from the beginning. So he tries to run, and Bruce Lee grabs him and pulls him back, gives him a backhand, and he says, so why did you kill my teacher then? Why? And every time he says why, he's just hitting this dude like in his torso. Bam, 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 bam. And basically beats him to death. And his ass falls too. And then they do that same shot again where it's from behind you, like you're standing behind the bad guy. And as he slides down the wall, Bruce is standing there, with his fist still clenched because he basically beat two dudes to death within 2 minutes. That's some cold shit.
Damn. Yeah. So the movie is living up to its name at this point. Fist of Fury. Yeah.
Yeah. He just beat two dudes.
What does the note here say? Do you remember?
I think it's just saying that he's sorry for what he did, and basically he's gonna get out of your hair. I'm sorry, I'm causing problems.
He's gonna run away with like a little stick and a red handkerchief with a sandwich in it,
and just wait for a train to come by slow enough that he can run and jump in an empty car and see where it takes him. So they're gonna start looking for him. They want to find him and let him know that, hey man, you don't have to.
We know we told you to get the hell out of here, but why'd you do it?
Come on, we didn't think you'd really do it. So yeah, they're gonna go looking for him.
And then this dead guy is found downtown or whatever.
Yeah, the both of those dudes, both of the cooks, or the cook and the guy who delivered it, they're both hanging on these light poles, basically in the middle, right
so,
on the street.
I think we know who may have done that.
And everybody is just like, or holy shit, well, that's crazy. And, they probably figured that the Japanese did it. Or at least one of them, because one of them was Chinese, the other guy with the bad color.
The other guy, the dark nipples.
So they think they might have an idea of who did it because those guys happen to work at the school of the now murdered teacher.
So now there's a bit of a problem. The leadership, right? They're kind of lost. They're at a bit of an impasse here. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Everything's falling apart, you know. And but what's her name? The love interest.
What was it? Yuan, Y-U-A-N.
All right, yeah. You want kiss me?
Yuan this.
And he's sitting off. What is it like near a grave or something like that?
Yeah,
And
it looks like a cemetery or park or something like that.
yeah, he's made a little campfire and he's out there and he's eating this. I don't know what he caught.
I think it's a rabbit.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's a wabbit. Yeah, man, he's just basically grilling that thing. And then he's sitting there and he's eating it like almost, like an animal over a kill. And he hears something and he drops it on the ground and he turns and he's like, "Who is it?" And then raises his fist like, these are the the only weapons he has and they're deadly. And then it happens to be
Yuan. And she has that moment with him because here he's having that part in script writing. It's a little early. It's supposed to come at the end of the third act, but it's that dark night of the soul kind of thing where he's given up all hope. And, what does anything even mean? And he kind of doesn't know which way to go anymore,
Yeah,
So-
he can't, he can't forgive, the Japanese, and he's so full of anger and he just wants to kill them all. And he's
So they have their
basically telling them-
heartfelt talk about what he's going to do, and then he lays one on her. Bruce
And this
style.
is the, I think, I want to say, if memory serves correct, the only kiss he's ever done. I don't
Really?
remember ever kissing any other woman in not the ones I've seen. The four
If
that he
you were
made.
an actor, Jericho, if you were an actor and you were in movies and television, would you do kiss and love scenes with other women because you're a married man? I
No,
wouldn't.
I couldn't do
wouldn't
it.
do
Man. No way.
I wouldn't do it.
Because I don't know. I don't know if I believe women who are married to these guys and they're like, yeah, I'm sure there's some that say that. He's cool. It's for work, and I know he doesn't mean it, or blah, he explained it, or whatever. You
Okay.
still are watching another woman all up on your man. But
Right.
as I couldn't do that because my wife was not that woman, and there's no way in hell she could separate the two, and I'd be weird, man. Like, yeah, you're acting and shit, but you're really kissing. You're really bumping and grinding on each other. Like, you're really between her legs, and you're really all up on her titties. That'd be an awkward ride home, huh?
Yeah. You'd be talking to your wife about how much you got paid. How much you got paid to make this movie.
babe, check the app. Check the bank account. But could you imagine the shoe being on the other foot, watching your wife
No.
do
Not-
make-out scenes and love scenes with some other dude?
No, dog.
Nah.
No.
There's a question before we get back to it. When I worked at Trader Joe's for 13 years, I used to ask people a question, the guys and girls, because you always get two completely different answers. The first one was, I'd ask the women, can you date a man 3 inches shorter than you? And they were all fucking completely repulsed. Like, ew. Some of them were like, ew, no, that's gross.
Could you date
And
a
then
what? I was reading a comment.
A
Could you date-
man, like if the guy's perfect in every way, but he's 3 inches shorter than you. And the girls are like, ew, hell no, that's disgusting. And then I asked the guys, perfect woman, her attitude, her body, all that stuff is perfect. But the only imperfection is she's 3 inches taller than you. And every single dude was like, yep. But they didn't even let me finish. Like, she's perfect? Yeah. Yep. No
Yeah,
problem. Let's
I
do
would.
it.
I mean, I'm 6'4". I'd date a 6'7" woman.
But the
Do you
women
know-
were just like, ew, that's gross. He's shorter than me. He's like, I'm already short. I'm going to wait a day get shorter than me. Like, they were all repulsed.
Dude, at 6'4", with my genetics, I marry a 6'7" woman. Do you know what kind of Division I athletes we're creating?
Oh, yeah. That kid will be drafted. That kid will be getting recruitment letters in the nursery.
Right. Jeez.
They'd
You know
be
how much
born, like,
food
2
I would
feet
have
tall.
to buy?
You have to start now. You have to stock up like doomsday preppers
Jeez.
just to feed that thing. But
The genetics for a female to be 6'7" are the same genetics for a man to be like 7 feet tall or more, right? Because in a male body, the 6'7" female, those genes are going to translate into like 7 foot plus or whatever,
yeah, like you're gonna have like a Yao Ming kid. But I would ask, hold on. Lost my train of thought. So I would ask them, would you date a guy 3 inches shorter than you? Gross. The guy's like, hell yeah, no problem. She's taller than me. So then I would ask the women, would you allow your husband to sleep with your worst enemy for world peace? And all the women, without question, were like, yeah, for world peace? Yeah, it's totally worth it.
Yeah,
World,
right.
blah, blah, blah. And does it include like domestic violence? I was like, yeah, all violence is gone. It's world peace. Everybody's in peace with each other in harmony. Oh, yeah, I would do it. That's what they said. The guys, they were like, no, fuck the world. No, ain't doing it. There's no way. Because, we can't share our toys, for lack of a better term. Like the thought.
Surprised. I would think the answer would be the opposite.
No, the guys are like, hell no. And all the women are like, yeah, for world peace. But I was thinking of that movie Indecent Proposal, where Woody Harrelson, Demi Moore, and Robert Redford, he's like this billionaire, and he offered them, they're young, like 25 years old, and he offered them $1 million to let me spend 24 hours with your wife. Young Demi Moore, it's good to go. And so they talked about it, and they're like, oh, we could do this with the money, we could do that with it. It's $1 million. And this is like the early 90s, like 93 or something. Man, we could do so much of that money. That'd be awesome. We'd be rich, blah, blah, blah. So they get in touch with him and say, yeah, we'll do it. So he comes and picks her up in like a limo. He's wearing a tuxedo, gives her like a gown, takes her out. They go out on a yacht, and he smashes. Because, what's included in that 24 hours. And so when she gets back home, she is like, yeah, it's over. We get $1 million. We're going to start doing this. We're going to put flowers over here and all this kind of shit. We're going to remodel. And he's like, yeah. And all he can think about, he literally has visions and dreams of them having sex. He cannot get over it. And she's more like, yeah, but look, we got $1 million. And then he asked her, did you have an orgasm and all this stuff? Details.
You want the details, bro. You want the NFL on Fox replay cam from the coach's 22 angle.
20, all those cameras on those wires and shit. You're going to get all the slow-mo.
22 cam.
1080p. It's going to be all bad. But he could not let it go. Because for men, the ultimate imagining somebody else with your woman, especially a
don't
wife.
Even say it. Don't finish the sentence. As a man, I don't even want to hear it. Here's the thing. I was watching a nature channel, and they were talking about mammals, and they were saying that it's not just a human thing, it's a mammal thing. Tigers, horses, chimps, so many males will kill babies that are not theirs. Mm-hmm. Horse just stomping a colt that's not theirs. Chimpanzee tearing apart babies that aren't theirs. Lions eating cubs that aren't theirs. So this is a very male concept of like, you say you got my baby, but I know it ain't true.
But in the face of world peace, and dudes are like, hell no.
Here's my answer on that. World peace for the wife, like, nah, the world can figure something out. They'll figure it out.
My world's gonna be all fucked up. No way. And I'm like, they're people, they don't deserve it. People are scum. No way.
Oh, so there's world peace, but everyone's laughing at you, Jericho, behind your back.
But and you still have to go home with that.
Right.
No way. But the world's fine. Nah. Cool. You're on your own world. Because I'm on my own in here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a no for me. Sorry, world. You have to figure it out. Maybe if a bunch of celebrities all sing a song together and record it, we'll have peace.
Yeah, get in one studio where you all, do a concert. That'd be great. But to sacrifice that, no. You've been on this, doing it this way so far.
Brandon says he invited his brother Brad to listen in. He's the Bruce Lee Encyclopedia. Shout out to Brad.
Hey, what's up, man? Welcome, bienvenue.
So here we get a little spicy scene, right? Is this the not
the
yet.
Russian. Well, the Russian's there. That's who's standing next to him.
Right. So we go to the bad guys' headquarters, the Japanese oppressors. They talk to the big boss.
Yes.
Oh, this guy, his face.
Yeah. He's telling them that one of their guys was found hung in the city and stuff. And so they're trying to find Chien Zin. And so that's the next one. That's the Japanese inspector who's telling him, hey, you need to turn him over. We need to get him in custody. And they're like, we don't know where he is. We don't know shit. He left. And like, well, you better be telling the truth because we really need to get him in custody. I'm getting all this pressure from the Japanese. And I need to find him. And so I always thought these outfits are cool. Like the way they wear that long thing that he's wearing. I always thought that shit was so cool.
Yeah, he's like the chief police inspector or something there.
Yeah. But how they're wearing hats.
Yeah.
So it's like some tradition, but also a little modern in there. They're on the
little bit of Western colonizers. They're colonizers.
Colonizers. You're all colonizers.
And then we go to
Oh.
dinner with the bad guys, and they have this big white boy with them. He's their big secret weapon, kung fu master.
Yeah, they're basically whining and dining this Russian dude that they brought over, same as in Return of the Dragon, Chuck Norris and the Japanese dude, and Carl Miller. But they're whining and dining this Russian guy that they brought over to take care of Bruce Lee, Chen Tian. It's just like, classic. We've got to bring in an out of towner. This guy's kicking the shit out of all my guys, so I need to bring in a specialist, a Danny Trejo or something in Reindeer Games.
There's a great thing here in this scene. So they're like Jericho said, they're entertaining the Russian muscle who's come to town with the stripper at dinner. I didn't get any nudity here, but there is a little bit of nudity in the movie.
Oh.
But the little toady here, he's like clapping or whatever, and the girl comes up to him and she undoes the side of her underwear there. And when she goes to open it, that egg roll or whatever in his mouth, he goes, "Poof," and he shoots it out on the table, like because he's all. I'm surprised his fucking like if he was wearing a bow tie, it would have spun around like.
Yeah, his eyes would have like bugged out.
Like a total dork reaction to him.
Yeah. So what's funny about this part?
What's going through the women's mind that are in the crowd here watching this?
Hear me.
Like they don't want to be here.
They want a night so they can go do civil in another room. But they're hey, don't worry about it. I take care of him and all this kind of stuff. I take care of you, no problem. And so the little lackey right here, the translator, who is the interpreter, who is Chinese, he's seeing himself as an equal, because he's hanging out with them, he's working with them, he has a nice suits, he's partying with them, he's getting drunk. And so he says, I gotta go. I'm going to bed. I'm all fucked up. I'm like, okay. And then the boss, the Japanese crime boss, he tells him, no. Get down, like a dog, go. And so he, totally demeans him and makes him get down on all fours and crawl out of the room like a dog because he is Chinese. He might see himself as an equal because he's hanging out with them, but he is Chinese and the Japanese do hate him. So they make him crawl out of the room on all fours like a dog with a piece of food in his mouth, like a bone. So they degraded the shit out of him, but who gives a shit because he's the lackey little piece of shit.
Right.
And he's been working with the Japanese. So he gets in basically a rickshaw, or whatever you want to call this thing, carriage pulled by a human. And so Bruce Lee, this is one of the characters that he plays. He has like a bucket hat on kind of thing. And
the Gilligan, I used to call it the Gilligan hat when I was
basically just like Gilligan. And he has it pulled down over his face so you can't see him. So he gets him and he gets in. He's like, and he tells him like real fucking like, yeah, go that way, stupid or whatever. He's all drunk. So Bruce Lee takes off and he takes him around the corner, and then he turns around. The guy's looking at him like, oh, who are you? And he sees who he is and takes his hat off. And he crumbles the hat up in his hand. And he's like, you killed my teacher. He's like, no, it was the Japanese, I swear. I didn't. And he's like, there's nothing you can say to stop this from happening. And so he throws a couple of weak ass punches at Bruce Lee, which is not smart. And he gets in he's still in the wagon, and he picks the wagon up by the arms that he's holding to hold it down right there, and he throws him into the wall and kills him. The carriage ends on top of him.
So this guy finally, he meets his demise.
Yeah,
you want to betray your people? All right, then.
Yeah.
And
throws him up against a brick wall.
I got an update from my daughter real quick. Let me, breaking news. Remember, she has if you're in Southern California, make it out to the Mic Drop, go to micdropcomedy.com, get a ticket. My daughter sold out her first show she's producing, and they moved it to a bigger room so more tickets available. She just texted me from the Comedy Store, the world famous Comedy Store, and she did great tonight on stage. She's doing some warm-up shows before Sunday, so she did great.
She did. Good job, Minnie. Of course she did.
And Minnie will be live on your show tomorrow. What time will Minnie be on?
I haven't decided yet. I'll give her a jingle. I'll text her about it, but I haven't decided yet. More depends on her schedule than mine.
Right. So after the strip show and where do we go? Yeah, the strip show. I just love when you watch this movie, you'll love this part. The stripper comes up, she undoes the side of her pants, their underwear, whatever, and that piece of food flies out of his mouth like, whoa, lady.
Oh yeah.
Yo.
Never seen that before.
Like what a dork, Jeez. Then he gets killed in an alley, so that's
Yeah.
terrible. And then so now the cops, the chief inspector, and his two sidekicks, they go talk to the big boss, the big Japanese crime boss, about what the hell's going on. We got these murdered chef guys that had the poison biscuits. Now we got the murdered translator, and all kinds of things are going on. So what's going on? And of course, the Japanese boss isn't going to tell them the truth,
Yeah, the Japanese boss is basically saying, "Screw you, you little Japanese bastard, or you little Chinese bastard. I don't care." And a few scenes back, after Bruce Lee killed the first two guys in the kitchen, you see the new teacher reading a note. Part of the note was telling, "Hey, these two killed teacher. They poisoned his biscuits." So
Right.
Yeah, at least all the Chinese dudes. And so they're talking about, hey, we need to find him. Let's go over here and check it out. So Bruce Lee was actually the old man standing there selling newspapers. This is the second character that he's played. So first he's the rickshaw driver. Now he's this old man here they don't even notice him. He sells them a couple of newspapers and shit. And then the next scene, he's so they're all talking about they need to find him because of the pressure from the inspector. So that's Bruce Lee up there. He's acting like a phone repair guy.
And he does a little Clark Kent here. Our buddy Dean Cain would be proud of this. He puts on glasses because he's been to the Japanese dojo, beat the shit out of everyone. They know him very well. There is currently a manhunt for this guy. Everyone knows who he is. He puts on glasses. He threatened this guy and punched all the signs on the wall. This little mustache guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's got, wait a minute.
He has it. He has that Michael Jordan. He has that Michael Jordan. He even has the hair a little bit too.
This thing is a little more common than we thought.
Yeah. We had him there's only 3 people with it. So Charlie
think about the
Chaplin,
context
Hitler,
too. I think this is unintentional, but this late 30s
1938.
Japanese government. Huh.
Yep.
Interesting.
And there's somebody else a little ways away who was making some noise too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So a little Clark Kent action here. Bruce is wearing glasses.
But also his demeanor. He's very, unsure of himself and submissive and I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so he comes in, he's doing all kinds of stuff to the phones. He's doing phone repair. But really it was because he cut the wire outside, right? So then they needed a phone repair guy, right? So he caused the problem so he would be the solution. Reminds me of our government.
Yeah. Here we go. Create this problem and yay, cheer me. I'm the one who made it happen. I came up with the solution.
You know what solves everything, Jericho? More tax money. That'll solve
money. Give us more, you stupid middle class.
Right.
So, and also when he comes in, the guy's like, "Hey, what took you so long, you idiot?" Like he knows he's Chinese, so he's talking shit to him. So he tells him the phone's over here. Like, oh, okay, sorry. And he fixes the phone, and then
Big Russia is giving demonstration to students.
Yeah, he's watching this dude
punching nails into this board by hand,
like a 1-inch thick board. And he's driving like 5-6 inch nails, big ass nails right through it.
You can see right there, one went right through it.
Yeah,
and he does a bunch of them.
And then he takes a metal bar and bends it around his arm, which you have to be very strong to do.
Lucas literally saying, "Now you guys hear She's Only 17 by Winger." I've heard that song like She's Only 17. That is that's like that other song, Young Girl, Get Out of My Mind. Remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
And then the Beatles have She Was Just 17, and you know just what I mean.
Yeah, there's something about 17-year-olds back then. A lot of those old songs.
Yeah, those
Sexy
old
at 17.
It's a little questionable.
Was that what's his name? The song "Sexy at 17." It came out in the '80s. Brian Setzer. That him?
I don't know that one.
Yeah, the song, an '80s song called "Sexy at 17."
Yeah, there's another one that's a little funny like that. "Hot for Teacher" by Van Halen.
Yeah. I got it made, so made.
That's yeah, that's a little something there. It's inappropriate. I disavow it all.
Yep, there's a lot of those 17 and she didn't know or some shit. I'm like, hey, you guys know, wait another year. It's all good.
So I like this here. It's not Hitchcockian, it's the same concept, but there's no tension because if Hitchcock did this, And Bruce Lee is 2 feet away from the big boss in disguise. You'd be freaking out on the edge of your seat. But it doesn't have that feel here. Here it feels, the only word I can think of, it feels a little funny. It feels a little comedic, this disguise. It doesn't feel tense.
Yeah. Definitely adding a little levity. Yeah. It's been pretty heavy so far.
Oh, Captain Haruna brings up Stacy's mom.
Stacy's mom has got it going on.
I've told you multiple times on this show, my buddy Chris Bernowski's mother, beautiful. Like she had that look like white, like Snow White, dark, thick hair, and then the bluest blue eyes. Like the lady that played Wonder Woman, the lady that played Wilma Deering on Buck Rogers. She had that look to her. You know, she was, and we would all tell him, and he hated it in middle school and high school.
Yeah. You always got that one friend whose mom is fine as hell.
Superstar.
Yeah, you give him shit all the time. That's so terrible.
Yo, Chris, can I sleep over on Friday?
Please. Yeah, we had a friend like that.
Good friends. We were good friends. And we never had a problem. You know, he moved away.
The best of friends, but
yeah,
man, his mom was fine.
I changed the name when I know what my I changed the name when I know what my friend's mom is. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying Miss Bernowski was beautiful.
No, as long as you keep it at that.
Yeah, I mean, I was fucking, you know, I knew the Bernowskis from the time I was 12 till 17. So, like, you know, 7th grade until I graduated high school when I was 17. Ooh, here's a bad one. The mom is hotter than the daughter. That's gotta be rough. That's gotta be rough.
Very.
What do you believe? Do you believe that thing they say if you're dating a woman, look at her mom and then that's your future? Do you believe that? I think it's generally true, you know?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah.
So she took them to the park where he was. And she was like, I know where he is because everything's getting crazy. You got the Japanese people basically cruising the streets looking for him. So she was, you know, hey, all right, I'll tell you where he is. I'll know where he is. So then come and talk him into turning himself in. But he's not there. And he knows from listening to the boss that he's going to get a bunch of guys and send them over there to the school. So he's planning on going over there and, you know, stopping them before they go. But he comes around the corner, like right after these guys leave. So he has no idea. So he goes in there. And this time when he goes in, he's not there to fight. He's fucking people up.
Yeah. He's there to finish things. And this action scene is awesome. Is this peak Bruce Lee? Is this the best Bruce Lee in this scene? Because it's
I think
good.
so. I think
this might be his best sequence. It's insane, this scene. So much ass kicking, so much of the great facial expressions, the yelling.
Yeah.
He created that whoa, that everyone jokes about, but it's just badass. You know, you don't do it because it sucks. You do it because it's cool.
Yeah.
You know.
And this guy,
oh, sorry. With my photos, I can't capture it because there's no motion, but holy shit, it's good. It's such
tearing these dudes up, tearing them up bad, just like the guys in the park, just walking right through them. And if you go back,
look at that.
2 more
power pose right there, you know.
Yeah, he's stepping on a dude's forehead.
Right.
You go back a few, Gabe.
And he puts that guy's forehead out like a damn cigarette, you know.
Right there. No, up 2 more, 1 more. Bam. No, up 1 more.
Sorry.
Right there.
Right here? Here?
Go.
I'm gonna go slow.
Go
here.
Forward. 1 more.
Here.
Right there.
Okay.
Hold it. So
here.
Right here, this guy, he's gonna hit him. He's gonna hit him with the bamboo stick, and he throws like a high block, and the stick breaks on his arm, and then he hits the guy in his face, and like I don't know, he like jabs him in the eye or something. The guy has blood coming out of his eyes. So yeah, he's tearing these dudes up. He's not just messing around.
Shreds them like
no problem.
Sticking a weed whacker into just like I don't know what. He just annihilates these guys.
Yeah.
Again, it's
buzzsaw.
Fist of fury. You know, I mean, he's living fury. This guy.
Yeah, tearing him up. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to capture as much as I could, but I love this too. A guy challenges him from across the room. He runs at this table, jumps, kicks the guy into next year, and then proceeds to just thrash the guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's a teacher. So he's go ahead.
and then he gives him like a WWE move right here with the thunderclap on the neck. You know
Well,
how painful that would be? How
well, what he's
terrible that would
doing,
be?
he's pulling him down because
Yeah.
the teacher has a sword. He has a katana, and he's
Right.
going at him and stuff. And so Bruce Lee, he has it out in front of him like this. He keeps changing the way he holds the sword. So he has it out in front of him like this, and Bruce Lee kicks the sword and it goes up in the air. And so he's pulling his head down like this, and then the sword comes down and goes through the guy's body, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
He like pulls his head down, goes through his body, and he's like, and before he falls back, Bruce Lee punches him again. Boom.
Right.
And he's
Then
dead.
they end up in the little garden in the courtyard. He's beating the shit out of more guys. And then Mother Russia shows up.
Yeah.
I handle this. You bring strippers, I beat Bruce Lee ace.
Yeah, he basically says, he tells him, he's all, let me take care of him. And so he goes out there and they start going at it. And again, the iconic shirt off. And it goes back and forth. Bruce Lee's whooping on him, then he whoops on Bruce pretty bad. And then you know how it's going.
I like this comment from Captain Bruno. I know what he meant, but he got auto-corrected to Sudoku. He meant seppuku, which is the traditional suicide with the. So when he did this, it forced the guy to do number puzzles. Force you.
No, I don't want
Make
to.
all of these a row add up to 5.
You will. Yeah, so he
You
tells
have
the guy,
pencil I could borrow.
he's a pencil in your eye.
I like the look of the white sleeve and the bow tie and the suspenders.
Mhm.
That's a badass outfit to be fighting in. You know, you got to be a badass to fight in that thing.
Yeah, because you
It's a
don't
good
plan
look.
on getting dirty. That's
It's
for
a
sure.
good look.
He takes his jacket off, lays it down, and they start going at it, and he starts whooping Bruce's ass pretty good.
Yeah.
And this right here, he hits him like 5 times, like real fast. The hand speed was crazy, and so he hits him like 5 times, so that he's doing good. But then the Russian dude kind of gets the best of him, starts fucking up a little bit. Let me take care of him. And so this is that part right here. So there's a movie in 1985 called The Last Dragon. And at the end of the movie, he gets the glow. He starts glowing gold. And he does what Bruce Lee does here. He's a huge Bruce Lee fan. So he does this right here where, I don't know what you call that, Gabe, how the trails of his hands,
Right.
are going. But he's moving so fast, it's almost like he's moving slow. It's almost like some Matrix kind of shit, way before the Matrix, where he's like going like this with his hands. And you can see the trails of his hands behind and shit. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But
he does look like he's singing the end of a show tune here. Ah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
But he's not singing a show tune. And so now he starts coming back and starts whooping the bad guy's ass. And so he kicks him in the face, and that drops him to his knees. That kick right there, kicks him in the face, drops him to his knees, pulls his hair back, and then gives him a chop to the throat. Boom. Exactly.
Breaks the hyoid bone, also known as the Adam's apple.
It's over. It's over for the Russian.
And he should have
He's
saved
dead.
this for after he broke the neck. He should have saved this for after. Ta-da!
Look at his neck. It's broken, man.
Oh, his neck no work no more.
His neck is broken, man.
So now,
So yeah, he kills a Russian
this guy
dude.
just look like he only have this voice.
Yeah, he's all business, man. So Bruce Lee goes after him. I guess Bruce Lee has the right colored nipples. And so, of course, the big boss man, he has the samurai sword, and Bruce Lee has his nunchucks. And it's on.
That look like Marv from Home Alone. A little bit, yeah.
One of the wet bandits.
Right.
Yep.
So now we get the iconic Bruce Lee nunchucks. And I didn't get the photo where he's hand over the shoulder and then the palm out. I didn't get that photo. I tried like 3 times, but I landed on the wrong spot. Said, forget it. We know about it. And you get a sword fight versus a nunchuck fight, and it's pretty freaking badass.
Yeah. Like you hear the clank, clank, clank. They hear the nunchucks hitting the blade and stuff. And so this right here, this is the final blow where same as Enter the Dragon, where they both jump in the air at each other. That's something you saw a lot in these kung fu flicks, like these, the Saturday morning kung fu theater, 70s kung fu movies. And they fly in the air at each other. And Bruce Lee does a perfect flying sidekick, kicks the boss man right in the throat. Boom, knocks him through the rice paper thing. He lands out in the yard where the garden or whatever that is, where the Russian dude was. And then he like sits up and tries to reach, and he like all this blood just gurgles out of his mouth. It's fucking dead. And so while he was there kicking ass, the Japanese dudes went back to his school and really thumped the people good.
And they killed some of them too, right?
Yeah, I killed him.
Captain Haruno, some of your comments tonight, it seems like you haven't seen this movie. It's free on Tubi. That's where, you know, this is what, go to Tubi.com. Today's show is brought to you by Tubi. This movie's free on Tubi. It's like $3 or $4, I think, on Amazon or other places. But you can watch it for free. I think they might play commercials or something when you watch it. Maybe not. Sometimes Tubi does or doesn't. But yeah, it's awesome. It's only an hour and 45 or something like that. You'll like it. What's it say? That hour 48:05 is what it says on there. So yeah, definitely watch it. Watch it with the boys. It's awesome. But yeah, they go back to the school. The Japanese have attacked. They've killed a few people. They beat the shit out of most of them. And it is it's not good. It's not good. The police inspector shows up, and then the big authorities come in, right? So this guy on the right here, he's kind of bald with the glasses and the tie.
Yeah. So
they're
Japanese dude.
Right. And they're like, hey, the big time authorities are here for Bruce Lee. That's enough. Chaos, dead bodies, beating up all the Japanese people, killing those guys and putting them on the phone pole or whatever. That's enough. He looks out there like, okay, you know, turn yourself in or your friends, right? It's kind of that, turn yourself in or you're all done.
Yeah, he's climbing through the window.
Right.
Still no shirt. And he basically tells her, you know, I have to turn myself in. You know, it's not their fault, you know, that all this happened and I fucked up and I need to turn myself in. So he does. Yeah. He goes, I'm here. And so he walks outside. They're walking him outside to take him into custody. And then you just look at that.
It's such a great ending. And for those of you that haven't seen it, you're going to get it spoiled here in a second because you do not see this ending coming. You don't. But it's it's like the movie Glory with Matthew Broderick and Denzel and all that. It's armed guards, rifles, white, you know, British police officers with pistols, people with clubs, sticks, all kinds of stuff. They want this man. And he lets out this scream.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, this is all the racial oppression, the humiliation, walk like a dog, poison his master, invade and control his country, humiliate him and his culture and his people. It's all coming out of him now. This is a deep movie. This is probably his deepest movie, you know, on an emotional level. He runs right at them, does a jump kick, freeze frame. You just hear a barrage of rifles and bullets, and the movie ends.
And they would have shot everybody behind him too.
Right. They would have shot them all to pieces.
Everybody's dead on that porch. But yeah, it's fucked up. And I think this is the only movie, I know it's the only movie where he dies.
Captain Haruno said to wave my hand after spoiler talk. So, you don't know, we just said Captain Haruno, but he breaks into a dance number in the front yard of the school here.
He's doing the can.
He has a dance off with the authorities, and that's how the movie ends. It's a dance off. So
yeah, step up.
Yeah, step up. The Shanghai Connection.
Shanghai, get it.
And that is the Chinese Connection / Fist of Fury.
Yeah,
you know,
great
awesome movie. Bruce Lee's best. I don't know. I don't know. It's a great one. I think it's awesome.
It is.
I like it better than Fist of Fury 2. Fist of Fury 2 is.
Wait, what's Fist of Fury 2? You mean Big Boss?
Yeah, Big Boss. Fist of Fury 2. Yeah, Big Boss. Yeah. I like it better than Big Boss.
Yeah, that one was a little bit different. I think that's probably his cheapest one.
That one seems flimsy, the story. Very thin story. The fight at the ice house is cool. You know.
That is cool. They find the bodies in there and stuff with cocaine.
Yeah. I'm glad you pushed me to come back to Bruce Lee movies because I haven't seen them in a few years. It's been a while. And I did not grow up watching these. I would see clips. My buddy had a collection and all that, but I never got into them. And they're a reason this set the standard and started martial arts, kung fu, action movies to be a legit thing because they were around for years before Bruce Lee, but this was the breakthrough. You know, this is like Iron Man basically made the Marvel Cinematic Universe happen. This is the one that made the kung fu and the action. And there's a straight line from this to Van Damme. There's a straight line. Now, even literally how Van Damme goes, he said in interviews, that's his, you know, homage to Bruce Lee, you know, when he does those moves and makes those sounds.
Yeah. So, and these movies are 50 years old. Enter the Dragon's 50 years old. And it's still great to watch. It's great to watch.
Right.
Except for Game
What are
of
we
Death.
watching next? Well, we got to watch what makes sense. Big Boss, Fist of Fury 2.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see. You'll see. And then after that, you have what?
After that is
Return of the Dragon, right?
Return of
And
the
then
Dragon, where he fights Chuck Norris.
Return of the Dragon. That's probably one of some of the most famous images of him, the yellow suit and all that, right?
No, that's Game of Death.
Oh, I'm sorry. The yellow suit is the Game of Death. And then Game of Death, which is not a good movie, but it's nobody's fault. He died in the middle of filming, not filming the movie. He died of another thing while they were making the movie. And this is the 70s. They tried to fix it with some camera stuff and cutting out and other actors wearing sunglasses trying to look like him. And it just doesn't work. And I'm not mocking the filmmakers. They did what they could do. It just doesn't work, Game of Death. But it's worth examining, you know.
Because nobody can move like him. That's why
Yeah.
they didn't even come close.
Yeah.
And the guy who they chose, they no pressure. You just got to pick somebody who just died, who was a huge international phenomenon.
Right.
So, and action. You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You know, Captain Huna, we were talking last week. If Bruce Lee was still around, he'd be like, I think someone did the math. He'd be like 90 or 80 or 90 something. Think of the career he would have had when the special effects got better and all that. And we hit that zenith in the 80s. I follow a Twitter account called All the Right Movies, and I send them to Jericho. What I realize is this is Memorial Day, kind of end of May. All the hits come out this week. Today is the 41st anniversary of Rocky 3. In the last 2-3 weeks, it's been all the Indiana Jones movies, like 40-something birthday. It's been Star Wars. It's been Empire Strikes Back, Back to the Future, like Back to the Future 3. Like tons of movies come out at the end of May, beginning of June. And just imagine if Bruce Lee was alive in the golden age of the 80s right there of filmmaking. You know,
oh, the 90s.
Then he got into the 90s,
Man.
Stallone and Van Damme. And you know, he was a gym rat. I mean, just look at his physique before people look like this. He looked like this before people look like this. He would have been in shape in his 50s and 60s.
Easily.
You know, easily. So he would have been an action star into probably the early 90s, dude. You know?
Man. To probably do a couple movies like that, a father-son action. That would have been sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his son, too, tragic. Both of them, so young.
Yeah. But then even Brandon would have continued on, you know, into the 2000s and probably now, you know, still doing shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, who knows what could have been, man. Would have been, imagine being such a star that you are a legend making 4.5 movies.
Yep.
You know, if you look at his filmography, he's been in like 20, 30 movies or whatever, but the movies he starred in, there's 4.5 of them, you know.
And then you have Green Hornet for a while.
The television
TV
show. Yeah.
Still, yeah, man. I mean, what he did in such a short amount of time to still be as relevant as he is. There's this little Asian kid online who wears a yellow suit and really good with nunchucks and shit. I mean, so the next generation, there you go.
Yeah, you can't help but be just absolutely electrified when you see it, you know. Yeah, this is the kid you're talking about, right, Jericho? Famous video.
Yeah.
Of the kid doing the exact routine from the right there, that guy in the red.
That's Return of the Dragon.
Yeah. Right. That's Return of the Dragon right there. So, yeah. So, and I think I haven't seen Return of the Dragon from start to finish. I think I've seen plenty of scenes and parts. I don't think I've ever sat down and watched the whole thing.
If you want to see some good nut shots, that's your movie. One guy gets kicked in the nuts to death in that movie.
You know the worst part about getting hit in the nuts, besides the insane pain, is that everybody laughs at you, your wife, your relative, just, you know, and when you really catch one right in the huevo, it hurts there, then it radiates out. It hurts like in your stomach. It hurts up into your kidneys, into your back, and it goes away in under a minute or so, but it takes you down.
I dread the next time I get a nut shot because
I got one yesterday. I was standing in front of my bed and I was going to lay back and fall on my bed. I threw the baby in the air and caught her. Foot just Bruce Lee'd me right in the right nut. And I take the baby and I go, hold the baby to my wife. And her and my daughter just start laughing at me. My own fault. Threw the kid and the kid's all, you know, laughing and having fun. You know, you are as a guy, you throw the baby around and have fun. just kicked me right there. Oof.
Oh. And well, women, I think that
it was bad.
Hey, you don't have to tell me, Gabe. I've been there, man. Yeah, but women will say, "Oh, getting kicked in the vagina hurts. Oh, getting punched in the tit hurts." No, it doesn't. The only thing they can compare it to is childbirth. But what the difference between that and getting hit in your nuts is getting hit in your nuts can happen at any time.
Yeah, with childbirth, you have a 9-month warning and an epidural in your back.
Dude, a nut shot? Oh, bleh. Oh man, it's bad.
You threw a 175-foot baby in there. That's why it hurt.
That's what hurts.
That's why it hurt so bad. Took me down.
Oh man. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not cool, ladies. You have no idea. No idea. I remember I picked my son up. He was like maybe 3 or something or 4, and he's kicking his feet. It's my fault too.
Oh.
And he just, wow.
He just gave you the Matrix like cartwheel. You know, in the Matrix, what's his name? John Wick. What the hell's his name?
Keanu.
He's in the Keanu. He does the air kick like this, like 20 kicks.
Yeah.
Your son did that to you. Just
boom, right in the sack, right in the sack of Jawea.
I sent you a McDojo life of these 2 guys from India, and the one guy like put his leg up on a pole and held it there, and the other guy just punches his nuts over to like make him strong.
We got to find another way.
That's not going to make you strong, bro.
No, we got to find another way because this ain't gonna work.
It's going to make his kid special needs. It's not going to make him strong.
Spaghetti, yay!
Macaroni and cheese.
Dude.
Woo!
No joke.
All right. So next week it's going to be Big Bomb.
Yep.
And we have some very special guests coming up on the show, guys. We have got Matthew Marsden shall return in Protocol 7. He wants to come on here and talk about, I think maybe after the movie premiere. I don't know. We could review it. We could talk about it before. He always has a standing invite to come on every week if he wants. Then I have another guest coming on sometime end of June. It's a mountain of a man. It's fantastic. Told me he's got to look at his schedule, but definitely will come on here. And that one I'll keep under my hat.
Yep.
But that one's going to be a good one. I may have just given it away, but it's going to be a good one. So the Liu Kang bicycle kick. Woo!
Yeah. Basically, with catastrophic consequences.
Did you ever play Butts Up in elementary school? I don't know what you guys called it.
That's
Okay, so you guys called it Butts Up too. For those who don't know, there were the handball courts. It was just a wall, like a 10, 12-foot wall, 10 feet wide or something. And it was for playing handball with the red ball. But there was another game that some kids made up where you throw a tennis ball at the wall. And if something happened, I don't remember the mechanism of the game, but if something happened, you had to go up to the wall and stand there and stick your butt out. And the other kid threw the ball as hard as he could at the wall.
Yeah.
And I saw a kid in 5th grade get hit below the butt, right in the nuts, and he went down like Frazier and Ali. He went to the blacktop.
That is no good.
No. I've told this story before, but I need to tell it again because it's so amazing. The story I'm about to tell you, Jericho, and an audience, does not sound true, but I promise you it is 100%. High school, senior year. Donnie Herman, good friend of mine at the time. I don't know him anymore, but I'm sure he's fine. We're at PE, the racquetball courts. These are the concrete, got a wall, got sides that are in an angle. So they go high to low, right? So you can throw the ball to the next court if you get over that triangle shape. Me and Donnie are in there. It's supposed to be racquetball PE. Coaches and watches. So we just start throwing the ball by hand, doing like trying to do tricks with the ball. You know, you leave guys alone long enough with any piece of junk, they'll try and do a trick. Well, I could do this. Well, I could do this. So what I said is, I bet you I can smash the ball with this racket so hard, I can not just bounce it off the side wall and the front wall. I could angle it and use my strength. 1, 2, 3 walls, you know. And he's like, "Oh, I bet I could do it." And we were like trying it our hardest, and it wasn't working. But I took the ball one time, I threw it, and I smashed it as hard as I could, and the ball disappeared. And I'm not lying. What I'm about to tell you really happened in 1995, 96. Me and Donnie are like, "Where's the ball? Ball, is it behind us in the grass? Where is it?" I finally look around. I turned to the court next to me. Short girl, curly red hair. I didn't know her, but I saw her around school all the time. Freckles. She lifts one of her legs up, and my blue racquetball falls out of her butt crack. outside of her clothes. Outside of her clothes. But I hit that ball so hard and it went, just stuffed itself in her butt crack.
Right up her ass.
Poor thing. I just said, sorry. It was unintentional.
Might be.
Unintentional. So it's like 1,000% unintentional. I couldn't have done that if that was the object of the game. There's no way.
Hey, let me get that ball from you, though.
Yeah. So we got the ball back, though.
I bet you couldn't wait to get rid of it.
Yeah. Here's your ball. You can have it
Please
back.
come get your ball.
All right. So we're going to get out of here. Big Boss is next week. Jericho, anything you'd like to promote?
No, just hit me up on Instagram at JG Talk, YouTube, and on X at @green_Jericho.
Right. All the links are in the description, guys. Hit the like, hit the share. Please do it right now. That'll make things better for us around here. And check out bigmancomics.com. A lot of great comic books coming, and we still have Dean Cain All-American Lawman. The first printing, we still in stock, and awesome t-shirts. Go check that out. We will talk to you.